my YouTube video right now, my subtitles have nothing to do with what I'm saying. Like for instance, if I'm saying konnichiwa minasan and like, you know, like hi everyone, my subtitles would be like, today's the worst day of my life.
Wait. What?
Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Trash Taste Podcast. I'm your host Joey and I'm with the boys as per usual, and I have a special guest sitting next to me. Please introduce yourself. Wow. I've never been laughed at after asking that question.
The way that Sally just looked over at you being like, oh, what?
It's like, what the hell did he just say?
What is he doing
I just got here 3 minutes ago.
You literally spawned. I'm so sorry. Today we're on a rather tight schedule, and I appreciate you being so accommodating.
No,
Thank you so much for coming on, by the way.
Yeah.
No, thank you for having me. Hi everyone, I'm Sally Amaki, an idol and voice actor here in Japan. Thank you so much.
Heck yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on, because we've tried to get you on like so many times. And
I
then,
heard.
right?
We have mutual friends.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I hear from them.
Yeah.
And so I go talk to my manager about it, and she doesn't reply to me. So
Like so many times we missed Sally that I just thought she didn't exist for a while. Like I was just like, who is anyway.
You were a very popular request. People were like, we'd love to hear about Sally's experiences and get to hear about it. Because I guess you have a unique perspective.
Thank you.
So do you want to maybe just do a quick run through of like what you do for people who might not know who you are?
I'm in a Japanese voice acting idol group called 7分の22. So we have like a character that's an idol, but we also, the voice actors also work as an idol as well. And I don't know, I guess I also do a lot of emceeing.
Okay.
Yeah.
For a lot of events. Not good at public speaking though, so.
It's okay. Nor am I. And I don't know how I found myself in this job either, because I've always been shit at public speaking until kind of like trial by fire. They put you on a stage and you're like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm just going to pretend. And
wait, but that makes more sense for you because you're a YouTuber, right? Like you're an idol.
Well,
like isn't the main job to be on stage? Or
I'm an idol by mistake though.
Okay.
How do you become an idol by mistake?
yeah, how did that happen?
So I came to Japan to become a voice actor, and I couldn't really read that much Japanese. So for the audition for 7分の22, I didn't really read like the information, but I saw characters, so I was like, okay, so it's a voice acting crew.
Right.
And then I got in, and then they were like, well, you're gonna be an idol too. And I'm like, oh, okay.
And then you got baited to being an idol.
I'll roll with it. I'll roll with it.
You basically went for a job interview and you're like, I don't know what the job is, but I see a cute anime girl, so I'm going to apply anyway.
I mean,
I should have known though, because by the third round, like usually in voice acting auditions, people would be doing like vocal warm-ups.
Yeah.
Everybody was fixing their makeup. So I'm like, I should, like that's when I should have known.
Dancing.
Yeah, no, there was a dancing part too. And I'm like, I don't know why you guys need to see me dance. I'm like, okay, weird, but okay.
I want to go even further back if that's okay. So where did you originally grow up, and then how did that go from, because obviously that's a big leap to be like, I want to go to Japan and be a voice actress. Like that's a huge leap.
Oh yeah. I was born and raised in Los Angeles all my life up until like 7 years ago.
Okay.
2016. Yeah.
Right.
And I wasn't really into anime when I was really young, you know?
Right.
But in middle school, I met Gintama.
Hell yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Wait, you met Gintama?
I met the real Gintama.
Yeah, I met Gintama. And like before then, I went to like a school where there weren't many Asian people around me. So like this is a really bad thing to say, but I was kind of ashamed of being Japanese, you know. I was like, why am I not like the other people, you know, like bringing, you know, it's like really typical story, but you know, you bring your Japanese school lunch and everybody's like, ew, what is that? You know?
I feel that.
Yeah. So I was like, why am I not like other girls? And like, you know, I pretended like I couldn't speak Japanese in front of my parents and stuff.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, I was like shutting every Japanese aspect in my life like out.
Right.
But I met Gintama and I got into the anime culture, and it finally made me like really like who I was.
Right.
You know?
Like embrace the Japanese side, right?
Yeah. Culture.
Yeah, it's insane that you say that, because you know, you're saying you grew up in LA, which is now like, if I would think of a city that is like the biggest cultural melting pot I've been to in the world, it's probably LA. You know, LA has so many different cultures, and you know, has it changed over like the years where you've grown up in LA, where now it's like more accepted to be every kind of like different culture and ethnicity
I
there?
heard with COVID and everything, like anime became pretty mainstream and
Very, very popular.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely had an explosion over COVID
So
for
yeah,
sure.
I think
Yeah.
like it changed a bit in that way.
Yeah, because I actually like, I think I went through something similar because I grew up in Brighton and I was also, I think, like the only Asian kid in my school. And-
Same.
Yeah, same for you as well.
Yep.
And now like Brighton is like this super progressive city with so many like different cultures. And I look at my city now and I'm like, I do not recognize the city that I grew up in. That
Yeah, what was like, because you know, you're from LA, what was like Little Tokyo like when you were growing up? Was that even like a thing at all? Or?
It was a thing while I was there.
Yeah.
You know, people would have a little meetup with their cosplay community and stuff. I was there too,
Oh, hell yeah.
dressing up as like Attack on Titan.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, and then like we would be all bloody and people would give us weird stares being like, why are there bloody teenagers on
They're
in
just
the
like calling the
street?
cops, just be like, I think there's been a crime.
Yeah.
You guys have been in Japan for around the same time, right? 7 years?
Yeah, I moved about 7 years ago as well.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Back in
Okay.
like 2016, something like that. Yeah.
See,
So I feel
okay.
like weirdly enough, like, you know, with you it's America, but for me it's Australia. Like
Yeah.
I feel like it sounds like we had very similar kind of upbringings in that sense, because like I also had like a period as well where like, you know, because being half Japanese in a predominantly, you know, white country like Australia, even with all of like the different nationalities and everything, I definitely felt like a bit of like a weird cultural identity crisis almost, where it's like I was the only Asian kid in my school. I got bullied for it to an extent, and so I was kind of like not ashamed, but I guess like I wasn't like up front as much,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right, about like being Japanese, which like I think, you know, my mom didn't really take that all too well, you know. She was like,
Yeah.
no, you should be proud to be Japanese, you know, and everything like that. And I don't think for me it was Gintama, but it was like it was something else, some other anime. But
Yeah,
Gintama is a great choice.
which is insane because, you know, when we went to visit Sydney, I was like, oh, there's a lot of Asian people
There's
here.
so many
There are
Asians now.
So many Asians.
So
people
many.
here.
Not to mention, like Sydney especially
Yeah.
has, I think, is like the biggest Japanese like group in all of
Yeah.
Australia as well. There's a huge Japanese community in Australia now.
Yeah.
But I feel that definitely changed over time. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was
Okay.
anime,
Here's a big test, right? Was it easy for you guys to find like good Japanese food when you were like growing up in LA or Australia? Because now, you know, now us visiting there, I think it's pretty easy to find good Japanese food, especially in LA. Was it like the same way when you guys were growing up?
Well, because my parents were born and raised in Japan,
Right.
we wouldn't really go out to eat Japanese food. You know,
Right.
that was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
We had the benefit of having Japanese parents that can cook.
yeah.
I guess that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
I was going for like a roast dinner.
Yeah, no, it's like the same.
Japan.
Yeah.
It's like the same for me as well. Except like, you know, if I wanted to show my friends like Thai food, they'd be like, "Oh, is there?" I don't think like Thai food restaurants was like even really a concept because we had like one Thai restaurant that I knew of, and it was mine, or it was like my parents. So
Yeah, but you could have used that as the hook, right? Like to your friends, you'd be like, I know this bomb ass Thai place, and then just invite them to your house.
Yeah, if you never told that story, you could just lie to everyone online and be like, and this is the best Thai restaurant in the world.
Yeah.
Okay.
that was back in the day when, you know, you take your friends to try a new cuisine and like, what do you mean you eat rice with everything?
Like, you fancy motherfucker eating rice.
Yeah, you eating rice? What is that shit?
Okay, so I want to ask a question. Gintama. Why was it Gintama that got you onto anime?
Well, it was just a moment in my life where I was just like hitting rock bottom. Yeah, and you know, it was just a moment in my life when I wasn't really laughing at anything, and I was in my room skipping a lot of like school days and stuff just
Right.
because I didn't want to go to school. And I was on Tumblr, and this like Gintama.
Oh, God.
That was a whiplash.
Well, I think I know what the problem is now.
I was on Tumblr, and this like Gintama collage like just came
Oh my God.
around,
Yeah,
and I was
yeah.
like, "What is this?" Like,
Yeah.
like it was like a really stupid joke that was like really funny, you know.
Yeah.
And I feel like that kind of joke was something that I needed in my life, you know, like something I can kind of laugh
okay.
at, like being like what is this, you know?
This is dumb,
and
but yeah.
I started watching it, and then I started listening to Sugita Tomokazu-san's radio.
Yeah, right.
And I found out like that you could pursue a career in voice acting, and that's where it kind of got me.
And
to
then you were
like-
just like, fuck it, I'm going to Japan.
Yeah.
I'm just going to figure it out.
Yeah, well, before I came to Japan, my cousin's friend who lived in Japan also wanted to become a voice actor. And so we went to a voice acting school over the summer for like one day, like a trial day. And I thought you could only pursue voice acting as an adult because every single time I would search like Wikipedia for a voice actor's name, they'd be like, oh, I started at 18 or I started after college. So I thought it was like an adult thing. But when I went to the voice acting school in Japan, like the girls in that class were like,
Sorry.
Oh, sorry about
Sorry,
that.
let's try.
So when I went to the voice acting school in Japan, the girls in that class were like 16, 17. They were like my age. So I was like, you could be that young and like start. And, you know, I felt kind of rushed. I was like, I'm already, you know, behind these girls. So I need to go. I was like, I gotta come here
now.
Yeah, because I'm already late. So, yeah.
So, like, what was there like a specific point where you were like, okay, I really, really want to pursue voice acting? Or was it just kind of like, hey, this seems like kind of like a fun thing I can try to pursue?
Yeah, was it something you always wanted to do as like a child, like from a young age?
Oh, no, it was, I basically never really had a dream. Like I don't want to make this a really dark story, but
that's humorous.
Tell if you're comfortable.
Yeah, if you're comfortable with it, please,
you know, when you're just experiencing something like really bad, when you know that there's an end to it, like it just, you know, gets better. Like if you have a class presentation, you're like, it's okay, it'll be over in like an hour. So like, you know, my nerves will be over.
Dissociate for a while.
So like somewhere in middle school, I was like, you know what? My life is gonna end at 18. I was like, I just, you know, I was like, this, whatever I'm feeling right now, like it's okay. Like it's all gonna be over by 18. So I'm just, you know, gonna live until 18. And then I never really had a dream or anything, but I met anime, and when I was like 15, I was like, oh, maybe like voice acting is something that I want to do. And, you know, it really made me a better person. Like anime really made me into a more happy and like better person. So like, I kind of want to be somebody that can do that for people who are struggling as well. So it was the one and only dream, like still to this day, that I have. So
that's awesome. That's
so
inspiring.
You almost made me cry.
Jeez. Now you talked about Gintama 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, Gintama saved my life. Like, you know, everybody's like, what's the meaning of life? You know, like, why are we living? My meaning of life is like, well, you know, I still haven't seen the last episode of One Piece, or like, you know, like the manga that I started reading. Like it's not done yet. So I got to live until then. So
that's a good way of living.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I mean, that's an awesome story, because I guess like, I mean, in the period I was growing up in the, like on the internet, it's like, it was almost like frowned upon to be like, yo, anime is like important to me and has done something important to me. But I think for like a lot of people out there, even if they don't like want to admit it, I mean, for me personally, it's played like a huge influence in my life and has definitely like helped me through some tough times as well. So I think, you know, that's an awesome and inspiring story for like a lot of people to hear, that it's not fucking, you know, it is just fiction, but it can have a real tangible, real life effect on people.
Definitely, yeah.
It makes me curious though, because you talked about your childhood and like you kind of always like pushed away the Japanese side of you to kind of like fit in better. How much were you in touch with your Japanese side when it was like not around friends, when you were just like at home with your parents?
I would talk like half in English and half in Japanese, and I would always call my grandma. We have a really good relationship with my grandma, so those were the only times I usually spoke in Japanese. Like my brother and I would always speak in English. So still to this day, my brother has like an American accent when he speaks in Japanese.
Right.
So it wasn't all that much. It was like 20% of my day was Japanese. Yeah.
Right.
Was it kind of hard to adjust and then be like, all right, now everything's going to be Japanese and I have to fully change everything, my lifestyle, all the approach?
When I first came here, especially because, well, you know, my parents are Japanese, so I look Japanese. So people expect me to speak perfect Japanese. Right. But I'm here with like kind of broken Japanese.
You guys are in like a very similar yet opposite situation, because Joey is obviously very, very, very good at Japanese. Yeah. But obviously Hafu. So it's, I think you both have very like interesting parallel stories.
Yeah,
just, like, change.
definitely. Yeah,
makes it all
there's a
different.
lot of aspects of your story that I very much relate to. But almost in like, yeah, as Connor said, like in almost like an opposite perspective. Or I guess like an opposite upbringing almost, but you know, I think like one thing that's really interesting is like, you know, you watched Gintama and you know you saw like, oh, you know, this is something that I finally want to do, and then the fact that you went and fucking achieved that is like insane. You know, that's so fucking awesome, and like, you know, I guess like now that you are kind of, you know, in this like dream position that you put yourself in now, like, do you now have like a brand new goal that you want to achieve in terms of like, you know, I'm sure as any Gintama fan would relate, you know, meeting Sugita Tomokazu one day would be, that's a dream of mine.
I met him.
Oh, you met him? Oh, let's go.
He gave me a birthday present.
Oh, shit.
I brought it today.
Oh, shit.
It's, wait, I don't know where my man. It was in my little makeup bag. It's like my good luck charm now.
Well, such a wholesome ending. To this
Yeah, hell
story, you
yeah.
know? we got the good ending, guys.
I mean, how was meeting Sugita Tomokazu? Like,
It was amazing. Well, first of all, you know, when people go into the entertainment industry, they expect so much. Like, they expect glamour. So,
oh, here we go.
oh, thank you so much. I'm sorry, my little idiot.
There you go.
I'm sorry. It's like a little keychain.
Oh, cute.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I use it as like a good luck charm. But yeah,
What is
a
this,
li-
like a tie?
I think it's like a necktie. But
Yeah.
yeah, he gave it to me this year for my
that's so
birthday.
sick.
So whenever I go into auditions, like
Yeah.
I have this, but it makes so much sound. The last time I was in the studio, they
It's
were
like,
like,
the goat is overlooking me. I got him with me.
They're like, can you please stop making noise?
yeah, no, I was in the studio doing a tape recording,
Yeah.
and my manager was like, "That's making too much noise. Like, you need to take that off," because I was having it right here.
It's like, no, you don't understand what this is.
The first time I did voice acting, I turned up in a button shirt. And they were like, can you not do that? And I was like, why? Like, it makes too much noise. Can you
Yeah.
swap to a t-shirt? And I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
I
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I didn't know how quiet it had to be.
Oh, yeah.
It had to be silent.
Yeah.
You really hear all those mouth noises you made.
Yeah.
Clearly, you're like,
Can you drink water, please?
So, yeah.
do you want to?
Oh, you want to put it away? Or?
This stays.
Oh,
This
we'll
stays.
just-
The good
we'll-
luck
That
charm.
stays. That stays right there.
right
There we
here.
go.
Stays.
Have this in focus. Blur me out.
How was the process of kind of, like you mentioned that you said your Japanese wasn't as good. How was it kind of almost relearning all of that and getting it to a point where you had to be like kind of native?
Oh, well, I fully memorized like 2 episodes of Gintama.
Like every single word?
Yeah, for the
Whoa.
first 2 episodes, like I wrote it down and
That's impressive, considering how dialogue heavy Gintama
Yeah.
is,
Oh,
especially
a lot of people say
in the
that. They
beginning.
say you should rewatch the same movie over and over again. if you
Actually,
wanna learn
I
the
did
language.
that.
Yeah, I've heard
yeah,
it's
and
very
Gintama
yeah.
is actually a really good textbook.
Oh, yeah?
Because there's so many like ways of speaking, you know, like
sure.
ore, watashi, uchi. So, and like the characters are really distinct. So it's like, okay, so people who act like this, like they say watashi, and people
Yeah.
who act like this, they say ore. Like it's really like it really helped me a lot. And I would also watch the news programs, and because you know their intonation and their pronunciation is like perfect.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I would basically just listen and like say what they were saying. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think like input is like one of the most important things when it comes to Japanese learning. Yeah, when like how I got my listening skills up was like very similar. It turned out to be like Dress Up Darling that I chose for some reason, just because.
I wonder why.
Okay, wait, hold on. Let me cook, Joey. Let me cook for a
Okay.
second. Just because like I thought in terms of like the genre of anime, I think like high school romance is kind of like at a level where it's like much more comprehensible for someone just starting to like get to learn Japanese. Because I try listening to fucking isekai or light novel adaptations. Impossible. I cannot even comprehend half the stuff.
Yeah,
they're
because like
saying.
half the isekais just like make up words.
True. Japanese people won't even know.
Japanese people are like, so why is it written in kanji, but it's like a German word? Like, how does that make any sense?
Yeah.
So I was like, I think like going for like a high school kind of romance is the best way to go about it for something that's like beginner level for me.
Yeah.
And Dress Up Darling just happened to be airing at that time, and I just like chose an episode and I rewatched it like about 20 times.
Damn.
And then like honestly, that really helped at least my listening skills.
How did you get your listening skills up? I don't think it's dress up, darling.
I don't know, really. I guess just existing around here. You kind of get forced to like hear it all the time.
true.
And
Yeah.
the way I view it is like it's like building a bridge made of Legos, but you can only put like one block down at your feet each time, right? So you can only pick up and build the connections and use muscle memory.
Yeah.
I've still got a long way to go. And also, I think when you learn a language in the way that I think we probably learned it, I feel like you do a lot of lazy things where like sometimes I won't listen to the full sentence. I'm waiting for you to say key words so I can like be like this with this context. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Which is like a bad habit, which I need to get out of. Because sometimes I'll just listen to the sentence and he'll be like, oh, he said it's hot. But he said like a bunch of different things around it, which I didn't really pay much attention to.
I mean, I feel sometimes I do that as well.
I do it too.
Yeah. I think that's just like a natural progression you go through where it's like, I can't be like, maybe like.
It helps you understand the surrounding words more, but it's it's all a slow process.
I think consciously you're trying to listen to every single word that makes up the sentence, but subconsciously you're like, oh, he said hot and today. So he must be just talking about the weather.
Yeah, it does feel like you're like on like a game show where you're listening to a question and you're just waiting for like some key part of the question to be answered. So you can
So
like,
you pass in. I got it.
It's kind of like that.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Did you have to learn kanji at all?
Yes, like I mean, I still can't read that much kanji, which was a problem for me actually this year when I was hosting the Crunchyroll Anime Awards.
I saw that.
Oh yeah.
But did you have to read people's names?
People's names, but also the script was really long, but I got the script like a day or like 2 days before. But usually for like AOF 2020, like for this year, and like every year, we would have the script right in front of us.
Right.
So I could write like how to read the kanjis.
Right.
But for Crunchyroll, they wanted to make it like an American award show. So you couldn't have the script in front of you. Like there was a prompter in front of you. So I couldn't write what the kanji meant or like how to read it. But I literally got the script last night. So I'm like, I don't know how to read that. And also I'm like, my eyesight is really bad.
Right.
So like usually the words would be like this small, but I had to like have them
Expanded.
Like
Expanded.
font 72.
Well, that's really bad for a teleprompter.
Yeah, like
a lot of time.
Yeah, and it wasn't like the sentences were like all broken into like lines because I had to make it that big.
Just imagine like, and the award goes to.
Yeah, it was like
I can't read that.
there was a moment where it was like Kimetsu no Yaiba ga sekken saremashita or something like that, where it was like it was like really popular all over the world.
Yeah.
But I just remembered that like the ken part while reading the script, but like during the actual award show, I didn't know how to read it. So I said Kimetsu no Yaiba ga hakken saremashita, which is like
discover.
Kimetsu no Yaiba, got discovered.
Which
like,
you're not wrong.
it's not,
to be fair.
but so people who already knew the script was like, oh my gosh.
Just all the staff in the back just like,
I saw there was a moment on the award show where like your contact lens or something fell out as well. just to add like insult on like injury of like everything you had to like juggle at the same time.
I couldn't sleep for like 2 weeks after that. Because during the stream, you guys can't hear it, but the second my contacts fell out and I looked like behind me to fix it, you can hear the crowd being like, nani, 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 nani,
oh shit.
And that voice haunted me.
That's what I hear in my nightmares.
Yes, it haunted me. And, I was like, I'm probably never going to be invited back. So like, whatever. I'm just gonna like wing it.
Excuse me, you handled it like a professional. The way you handled it, I was just like, nah, I'm all right. This is a professional. I should be taking notes.
I don't think there's many other people they can ask. You are like a handful of people they could ask.
Yeah, I went backstage after that, and I was crying into my manager, being like, I can't. But they were like, you need to go back in 5 minutes, and I'm like,
it's like, shut up, go back out.
I'm like, but I can't even read the script.
God damn.
Just as long as people watch, and that's all that really matters.
Yeah, please
It
watch.
is always interesting whenever we have to do live promotion stuff with working on more of the Japanese side, because they always want a script.
Yeah.
And we're like, No, we don't.
We don't do that
we
here.
don't have scripts.
Yeah.
we just do it. And I'll be like, you can tell me what to say, and I'll fit it in naturally. They're like, well, what if you say something bad? I'm like, why would I say something bad? I know what I'm doing.
Like, I don't have Tourette's. I'm fine. Like,
yeah. There's always just kind of that worry. They're like, we just want to know exactly what you're gonna say.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like, oh, it's live, you know.
But it's also that, ironic thing of like, they prepare like these like insanely long scripts. And then I've been in situations where it's like, a 5 to 10 page script for something, right? And it's like, so we just finished and we only actually read like 3 of these pages. So
Does happen. Or sometimes you'll give them. Sometimes they've asked for a script or they want to know roughly what you'll say, and you'll send it to them, and then on the day, just when you're reading it, you're like, this isn't the vibe. I'm just gonna change it. Like, live.
Yeah.
And then normally everyone's always happy because it's like, I think you as the MC, you normally have a good read of what it's all doing, and you can be like, I think this is a better idea.
Yeah, like out of all like the live shows and like events I've done with Japanese companies, the vibe I get is that they want everything to go on script, word for word, before the event happens.
Yeah.
And then the event happens and you turn up and you're like, so is it okay if I just get the gist of it? And everyone's like, yeah, sure, that's
Because
fine.
there's no way you can memorize. Because sometimes
I feel bad for these script writers.
sometimes they've asked us to memorize like 10, like you've mentioned, like 10 pages.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm tired. If you gave me 5 years, I wouldn't be able to memorize.
Yeah.
I can barely memorize my own birthday. This is not going to
That's
happen.
true.
Yeah.
I'll figure it out.
But for me though, because I'm so bad at public speaking, that kind of helps me.
I
Yeah.
guess there's a lot of that as well. Where
Yeah.
they don't know. They don't want to assume that you're comfortable always being able to just be like, I'll do it.
Yeah. I suppose it's your voice acting experience has played into that as well, because I mean, that's where you definitely have a script that you have to read off of that can't be changed.
This episode is sponsored by Gamersupps. Gamers, sugar is a thing of the past. If you need a clean energy drink with no crashes, no sugar, and tastes amazing, you best be drinking some Gamersupps, boys.
That's exactly what I need. I just came back from a trip to America, guys, and I've been eating and drinking nothing but sugar. Please, I need something else in my life.
Well, you Americans and Garnt will be happy to know that Gamersupps is 0-calorie energy formula. It is keto and diabetic friendly as well, with a guilt-free health energy that you can drink throughout the day that keeps you calm but alert.
But Joey, I already have plenty of energy in my life. Sometimes I'm not like Connor. I don't need to take 17 shots of espresso.
Well, lucky for you, Garnt, Gamersupps now comes caffeine-free.
Caffeine-free?
You can get it caffeine-free!
They also have these amazing waifu cups, and I refuse to suck on anything else. Starting on the 1st of September, every cup is a limited edition and never printed again. What are you waiting for? Go to the link in the description down below to get your waifu cups and get your free samples today.
Gamersupps.gg/trash taste, and make sure to use our code trash taste. That's GAMERSUPPS.gg/trash taste. Back to the episode.
So you're a voice actor and an idol.
Yeah.
Right. Is there like a percentage of which side you tend to do more? Or is it like, I'm mainly an idol who voice acts, or am I a voice actor?
Yeah, when people ask you what you do you say voice actor or idol?
I say voice actor just because I want to be a voice actor.
Okay.
But like sometimes when like in situations, when saying an idol would work better. Like if I screw up so badly as a voice actor somewhere, I'm gonna be like, I'm sorry. This isn't
this is just a side gig actually.
I'm sorry. Like sometimes I would pull the idol card. Like during like my I also do have a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Right.
Like for the title, like I use idol and voice actor depending on like which one would be funnier,
makes sense.
in the context,
So you didn't know you were going to be an idol. You passed the audition. They're like, you're an idol. And you're like, oh God, what happened?
Was this the first audition that you did?
No, I took a lot of voice acting auditions, but I failed a lot of them because I usually make it to the final stage with my English. But during the final stage, they would usually give you a script and they're like, look at it for 30 seconds and read it. And I'm like, okay, well, I could look at it, but I can't read it.
I actually just can't read it.
You could give me an hour. I wouldn't know how to read this.
Google Translate on your phone. Okay, I got it.
Yeah, but that was also a problem when I first went into voice acting school.
Oh my gosh. This has never happened before.
What's up?
Is there something wrong with our...
Epic snap. Oh, no, it's the click. I think it's overheating. I think the fan might be jammed or something. Okay. Well, I know it should last the episode.
We'll be able to keep doing it. Sorry about that.
But yeah, the voice acting school that I went to, for you to get in, there was a written test as well, which I didn't know.
Oh.
Yeah. And
what's on this written test?
like it's to see if you know basic Japanese, you know,
Oh,
because
I
there's
see.
you know there's a lot of people who want to be
Yeah.
voice actors, but they're like, you know, like we need you to have like basic
course.
language
Okay,
skills.
okay.
But I couldn't read a single
You're just
thing.
sweating.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh no. So I took out a red pen and I wrote, "I'm sorry, I'm from America."
Such a power move.
It does play well.
Yeah, and
can't
I
imagine
circled it really
I
big.
can't imagine that went well.
But like right after that, there was also like an acting test too. So my
Right.
pronunciation was like okay.
Yeah.
So like, you know, even if I couldn't read or write, you know,
Yeah.
it's like I could like speak, you know, well.
Right.
So
God,
you
that
know.
just sounds like every exam experience I've had. I'm just like, I can't do this section, but I'm
Yeah.
gonna try and ace this section.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
hopefully,
yeah.
this section carries me for the section that I suck at.
Yeah.
How many schools did you go to? Because I actually did a video filming at one of the schools, and it was one of the most embarrassing experiences of my life because I had to voice act in Japanese in front of people who were doing this seriously.
Yeah.
They were all there they were all very kind about it, and they all came basically just to film this video that I was making.
Yeah.
And I felt so bad there to sit there and listen to me just butcher the language. But like there was like one thing I found really interesting is that it wasn't like it's not just one voice acting school. There's like you would have to work your way up the different tiers of voice acting
Yeah,
schools.
Yeah.
Right.
And the one that I filmed at was like an agency would select you to join it, and you were in like kind of like the upper echelon of the like trainees wanting to get into voice acting.
It's like a weird like caste
It's
system.
so
Yeah,
it's the most
there's like I was put in the
Japanese
beginner
anime.
class.
Okay,
Yeah.
makes
Right.
sense.
Because I had no acting skills,
right.
but also my Japanese sucked. So I had every reason to be in the beginner class.
Do a lot of people progress? That's one thing that I didn't really get to ask them or learn about. Is that I didn't know the rate of like progression, the rate of people who would drop out, or be stuck.
I mean, I know by the time I was only there at that school for like 6 months because I got into this group that I'm in in like 6 months. So, but by those like months, already half the class was basically gone. You know?
Right.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a lot of dropouts, or a lot of people that just
Yeah, a lot of people dropped out.
I imagine
yeah.
it's just expensive as well, right?
Yeah, it's really expensive, but like the one that I went to was like one of the cheaper ones, you know.
okay.
Yeah, but I was put in the beginner class, but on day one there was a girl that was fluent in French. And I was like, damn, I was gonna pull my English card. Like this is how I was gonna get into this agency, but this girl who knows perfect Japanese, she's so pretty, she has a beautiful voice, and she speaks perfect French. I'm
What
like,
an asshole.
yeah, like I can't do this right now.
British people be like, I see this as a negative.
But this is the beginner class, and I'm like, you know, if I can't be the first in this beginner's class, like there's no way I'm gonna get into the agency.
So
and if
anime that you're like, I gotta be the best in the beginner class.
yes, and it's like if I can't be like the best here, like even if some miracle happens and I get into an agency, there's no way I can compete against my seniors who are already so good at it. So then I started going to a different like school who taught you privately.
Yeah.
right.
And the principal at that teacher was the one who actually introduced me to Nanabun no Nijimi, like the audition. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So he also thought this group was a voice acting group.
Nobody had a clue.
Nobody had a
Are
clue.
you sure they just didn't pivot last minute? They were like, everyone is just really good at dancing and pretty. Maybe we should just pivot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the dancing part, oh my God, the audition process was so stressful because for Nanabun no Nijimi,
Did you ever dance before?
I did competitive figure skating, but you know how like
Oh, okay.
Wait.
That's a whole other can of worms you just opened
There are
up.
ice rings in LA?
but you know, figure skating and just ballet and those like slow movement dance things, it's just so different from idol dancing.
Yeah.
So, but like when I first got the call back to be in the third stage of this audition, it was 2 days before the third stage, and they were like, you need to memorize this dance, like this so-and-so group's dance. But they didn't have like a video sent to me.
Okay.
So they were like, just look for it online.
So they gave you a transcript, be like,
Yeah.
here's
So I did
So the
this.
right leg goes up, left slide.
Here's the source. Look it up.
Yeah. But like they gave me the title, so I looked it up. There's only, you know how they're really strict with copyright stuff?
Yeah.
So I see the music video, but first of all, it's the short version. And second of all, it's a music video, so there's barely any dancing. Like it's like lip sync of these pretty girls. And I'm like, what do you want me to learn? Yeah. So I went to the audition not knowing any of the choreography.
Yeah.
right.
And the girl that sat next to me, luckily she's my you know, future member as well.
Yeah.
But she was like, "Do you want to go practice the dance in the hallway?" And I was like,
It's like, yes, please.
"Yeah,
Yes.
yeah." But I didn't want to be like, because I don't know the choreography, because I don't
Yeah.
want to, you know,
You
seem
stand
like.
in front.
So I'll let you take the lead.
Yeah, I was literally like, "How about we watch each other dance and like give each other like constructive criticism? You go first." And so she would dance in front of me, and I'm like, "How about you
No
do
way
like
that worked.
Yeah,
What
but she was like, but you know, she knew that I was from America,
Yeah.
and my cousin was a dancer, so I borrowed her clothes, so I looked like a dancer. I looked like I knew what I was talking about. So I was like, you should do the movements really slowly, because you know, dance is just a lot of poses put together.
You're right.
So you should just like do it more slowly. Here, I'll do it with you. So she's like doing it really slowly.
She's like doing it
walking
slowly.
me through the steps.
Can I film it? Can I just film it? Can I replay it?
You just like violently staring, just trying to remember everything. It's like, do that part again, just one more time, please. Yeah.
Yeah. So then, but then once I memorized it, I'm like, I think we're good. We should go back. We're good.
Dance
crazy.
downloaded.
And then-
I will now ace this exam.
And that worked? You
And then it was, you know, the time for the dance audition.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
all these like different groups. We were put in different groups, and while we were dancing, I saw that one of the judges had a video camera going around filming us. It was obvious he wasn't filming us dancing. It was like our face.
Right.
So I was like, they don't care about the dance.
That's-
It's about
yeah.
the charisma. So I was like, you know what?
Damn.
I'm gonna wink at the judges.
Player.
So yeah, everybody else is like dancing really seriously, and you know, I just learned dance, so halfway through I
I'm
forget
not
it.
one in this space on dance.
Yeah,
skills.
so I don't have any like dance.
Just like,
skills.
just fill me up here. With that. Just
Yeah.
don't film any of my body because I'm not moving at
I
all.
don't know what I'm doing.
I don't know what I'm doing.
This sounds like an entire anime arc.
this
You know,
does
sound like
this literally sounds like the Naruto test they did, where like the actual test
tuning
was
exam?
yeah, the tuning
Yeah.
exam. Like the dancing was the red herring. They didn't care about the dance.
Yeah.
You know.
Dude, the plot armor kicked in for you, bro. Like, that's crazy.
I watched enough anime to know.
Yeah. It's like, I know your scheme. That's crazy.
And I
So
thought
it
somehow
worked.
got-
Winking at
it
the
somehow
camera.
worked.
At which point did you find out that you were auditioning for an idol group?
Well, once I got in, and yeah, once I got in,
You know, when people see people who like enter like Squid Game and stuff, you're like, man, they just had no idea. You're like, this sounds so much more believable now. People will just audition for shit they don't know what it is.
Yeah.
they don't know. Yeah, like once I got in, and they started caring about my weight and stuff. I was
Oh.
like, why would you care about my weight? You know, like
Yeah.
you know.
Wait, how does that conversation go? Are they like, hey, what is that? Is that like a granola bar? How many carbs? Like, what do you-
First, so you know, everybody, like majority of the members were teenagers, so
Right.
my parents had to come in for a meeting before, you know, signing the contract.
wow.
And right then and there, they told me, they were like, you should probably lose like 10 kilograms.
Jeez.
Yeah. But the thing was, I wrote on my resume. Oh, should I stop talking?
Yeah, that's very loud.
Oh, so many distractions. So
Yeah, it's very unfortunate.
I think we're good.
we're good. Yeah.
Yeah, so I lied on my resume saying like I was 10 kilograms lighter. Yeah.
Do you feel that they were just arbitrarily picking a number that they were like, this is thin? Like, but like, without
Yeah,
even,
because like
considering-
it's really different, you know, like muscle mass and everything. So they're
Yeah.
like, you don't know what you're talking about.
yeah.
So I would go up
So
to
I'll
my-
have you know, my BMI is perfectly normal, actually.
Yeah.
I do like that throughout this entire thing, you've been like pushing back in your own way against every single like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like almost unnecessarily stereotypical thing they've been asking for. You're
Yeah.
like, no, I'm not
Yeah.
going to do that.
You've somehow successfully Uno reverse card every
No,
conversation
yeah,
you have.
So
yeah,
you lied and it worked?
yeah. It worked. I mean, I guess it didn't work because they told me to lose 10 kilograms.
Okay, I thought this was before.
yeah.
Sorry.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it worked during the resume part. But like,
Okay,
I guess
okay,
they were
right.
like, you know, you're lying kind of thing. But yeah,
Did you lose 10?
no.
Okay. Did they care?
Well, the thing was that meeting was during winter, and I was wearing like my mom's coat that was this big.
Like they can
okay,
tell
okay.
anything. Like,
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So during the summer, the next summer, like I have like a fairly skinny waist because with like figure skating and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
So like I get a lot of fat on my face. So like during the summer, I would wear like a really tight clothes and be like, since last winter, I lost 10 kilograms. I just took the coat off. But
Like,
hey.
damn, she did it.
Oh my god. Sorry about that. I don't know why this is the first time this ever happened.
Do you think it's overheating?
Yeah, it's most definitely.
Do we have a fan in the office?
It has a fan built in. I don't know why it's not.
Fan built it.
Okay.
Can we get some? Do you have any ice or cold stuff that we can put it on?
Yeah, maybe.
All right. Sorry about that. This has never happened before.
That's
Of course,
okay.
the one day we're on a crunch.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so you got in, lost. Okay.
So
Yeah.
how did they explain to you that you were going to be part of an idol group? Was that part of the conversation when the contracts were being signed?
They never really like explained it. It was more like the more interviews you do with like all these magazines and the way the staff members would explain to you how you should explain the group.
Right.
They always use the word like idol group, and I'm like, where's the voice acting part of it?
Kind of sounds
Yeah.
to me like they didn't really say anything until you got on stage and you kind of realized what the hell am I doing here?
Yeah.
Is this like a new concept as well? Like idols who are voice actors? Is this like a first of its kind? Or
I mean, there was like, of course, Love Live and Idol de Masta
Yeah.
and stuff, but I think it was the first time Akimoto Yasushi-san, you know, like a producer for a lot of idol groups.
The godfather of idols.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was the
Yeah.
first time he produced an idol group, like voice actor and idol group. So
Okay.
I think that's why the idol part is really strong.
He's the guy who created like AKB48. Yeah, so he's
yeah.
considered like the godfather of the idol world. Yeah, basically.
Right.
So
Okay.
What was the first gig you had when you like? Was it like it must have been a shock, just the first time actually having to do idol stuff.
It was just a lot of dance lessons. It was like 2 days of dance lessons and like 2 hours of voice acting lessons. And I'm like,
Okay,
oh,
that
the
makes
ratio
sense.
seems a bit off.
He's going. Oh
Did
god.
you strap ice onto it?
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Oh no, that sucks.
Yeah,
Okay.
but
Do you want to show like we swap so that like when that switches off since it's overheating?
I mean, it's still gonna look weird.
okay.
We can just make a note of it that we just keep turning it on. I think.
This episode is sponsored by Harry's. Listen, I have been using Harry's exclusively for my shaving for the past 2 or 3 years now. Don't believe me? Let me go and grab it. This bad boy is the Harry's razor, and I don't go anywhere without it. I'm super lazy. I'm sure all of you know that, and I don't want to change the blades as much as possible. And Harry's, my god, do these blades last? I feel like I get like 2 or 3 times more shaves out of this blade than other blades before they start to feel dull. It's also very affordable. That's why whenever I travel abroad to countries that actually sell Harry's in-store, I buy a bunch of these to bring back with me. And you can experience their latest and greatest in Harry's razor lineup delivered straight to your door for just $10 at harrys.com/trashtaste. It's nice to have a razor that feels like it treats my face the way it deserves. And they're still offering a no-risk trial. Don't like your shave? No worries. It's on them, gamers. Plus, you can also schedule replacement blade delivery whenever you need them with refills as low as $2. And you can experience their sleekest handle yet with their craft handle starter set for just $10, valued at $17. So what are you waiting for? Elevate your shave with the latest and greatest in Harry's razor handle lineup today. Get your $17 craft handle starter set for just $10 at harrys.com/trashtaste. That's harrys.com/trashtaste. Back to the episode.
your first concert. So, yeah. So what was that like?
our first concert, oh gosh. I feel really bad for saying this. Like, we had a meeting with our boss, and our boss was like, "You're always gonna remember your first concert because like this is a life-changing experience."
That sounds really threatening.
No, but it was
You'll
like,
remember this.
but it's like it's gonna be such a magical moment in your life.
Sure.
Right.
I was so nervous. I don't remember a single thing. So every single time, like every anniversary that our group has, we always have this interview where it's like, you know, you like look back at your past and be like, what do you remember, you know, at your first concert? And I'm like, I don't remember a single thing. So I was so nervous.
I just spawned, bro. Like, I don't remember anything.
But our first live, I actually sprained my ankle.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
Oh
during
my god.
it was like an open rehearsal where people could watch. On the first number,
Yeah.
I
Right.
fell.
Oh,
And
shit.
sprained my ankle.
Oh my god.
So that part I remember, but everything else I don't. I was so
Wait, so
nervous.
how many did you have to continue with the rest of the rehearsal? or-
Yeah, I didn't even know how bad it was sprained, but
Yeah.
like the next day I went to the doctors and they gave me crutches, and I'm like, oh, so it's
Oh,
bad,
shit.
bad.
Oh my god.
God
But
damn.
the adrenaline and everything got
Yeah,
me
yeah.
going. And
Yeah.
yeah.
like damaging it more.
Yeah.
Gonna like snap it.
But my it was my left leg, but it was already kind of screwed up with figure skating for so long. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's one thing I wanted to get into. Like, how did you get into the figure skating thing?
Figure skating, there was this Japanese drama called Praido. With,
Okay. Yeah.
There was a hockey drama called Praido, and my dad was so into it.
Right.
And he was like, "Do you want to go figure skating tomorrow?" Like this the next day he saw an
Yeah.
yeah. So we went, and apparently I was really good. Like I got scouted by the coach.
Oh, nice.
So I started, but then again, the problem was I was so bad at like, you know, the public eye.
Right,
It
right.
just wasn't my thing. So the reason I quit was because I had a panic attack after my short program. In my last competition. I was like, this thing is just not for me. So like, because that happened, still to this day, I don't know how I'm an idol still and performing in front
Yeah,
of
it
people.
sounds like this is the worst line. Of
Yeah.
It's funny because it's like considering how nervous you are on stage and how, as you say, you're not good on stage. Like you've managed to find yourself in situations where you have to perform on stage.
Yeah.
You know?
So I pretend that when I'm an idol, I just pretend that I'm an undercover spy.
Wait. So explain the thought process of that. Like,
So, you know, like as somebody who wanted to be a voice actor only,
yeah.
and you know, who didn't really want to perform on stage, if you think that you're a spy, you know, and you're like, I'm only doing this, like this isn't my job, like I'm only here to know what happens behind closed doors, you know.
Oh, I
like
see.
so I can
Right.
experience what like other people can't see, you know.
Yeah,
like, even
yeah.
the documentaries won't show you.
Right,
Okay,
right,
okay.
right.
So I feel really cool while doing it.
You are literally the definition of fake it till you make
Yeah.
it. You know, it's
That's crazy.
that is impressive. How long between like you getting the audition was there between like doing your first live and performing for the first time?
It was only like 6 months. It was even before we debuted.
Okay.
We had our first live. So yeah, it really wasn't that long.
Okay.
So after this first performance, did you just like have fans right away?
Yes, because the producer was, of course,
Oh, it's
Akimonte
very
So people,
interesting.
yeah, and you know, Sony Music and Aniplex.
How was that?
It was overwhelming. I was like, there are people who like me? That's a first. I'm not used to that.
There's
So.
even like fans, Japanese fans as well, right? It must be so bizarre thinking like, damn, I just showed up here and you guys like me?
Yeah, but like I felt really happy because again, my goal was to be somebody like Sugita Tomokazu was to me, you know. So I felt really happy when people were like, "You motivated me to pursue my dream as well," or you know, like you make me really happy. That makes me really happy as well.
Hell yeah.
Awesome. I'm curious, like, what the training process for an idol is. You said there was like 6 months. Like, what is the process between you becoming an idol and doing your live?
Well, because majority of our members were still in school and almost half weren't even from Tokyo. So we only had lessons during Saturday and Sunday.
Okay.
And it was like the full day we would have dance practice and also voice acting lessons as well and singing lessons. And we would have like acting tests on Christmas Day.
Acting tests?
Yeah.
Happy
They're these-
Christmas.
Yeah, Merry-
Give you some
Yeah.
KFC or something. It's like, hey,
but
it's
it
a
was-
bucket.
Have a drumstick, recite the entirety of Pulp Fiction right now.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess because we had an upcoming anime coming up and
Right.
we also had characters, but those characters weren't really official yet.
Right.
Right.
You know, so we had to have like a lot of acting tests to see like who would fit which character. So everybody was like really serious about it. But I was like, really, on Christmas Day? Like, don't you guys have families?
I guess Christmas isn't that big of a thing, right? So
I guess,
Yeah.
yeah. So,
Especially
the
in
KFC
Japan.
Corporation.
Yeah.
so we would have really stressful acting tests and they would give you like a report card.
What does an acting test look like in Japan?
So for our group, it was reciting uirouri. It's like a tongue twister in Japan. Like a lot of voice actors do it in voice acting school. It's like a
I
really,
saw them all practicing
Yeah.
tongue twisters constantly.
it's like a 10-minute tongue twister.
What
Yeah,
the
it's
heck?
Yeah.
really, really long.
Yeah.
I just wouldn't associate your quality to act with your ability to do a tongue twister. I just feel like that's
I feel like, especially in anime though, like tongue twisters are really important.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Especially if you have to like speak fast and make
Yeah.
the enunciation sound perfect and natural as
Yeah.
well. Like I
Yeah.
think tongue twisters is a great way of like kind of practicing enunciation, especially.
Yeah, I could see how it's practicing enunciation, but I wouldn't, in my mind, I wouldn't think that I wouldn't want to be judged on my ability to act based on if I did like red truck, fucking blue truck fast. You know what I mean? I
Can't even say
can't
that.
fucking do it, no,
Do you
no.
mean red leather, yellow leather?
Or like whatever, there's like a bunch you say, like it's just so arbitrary.
Yeah.
To kind of be like, no, you can't act Why? Well, he failed on the tongue twister.
He didn't say Peter Piper properly. You know.
She sold seashells somewhere else. I don't know where. You know, I just feel like it'd be such an arbitrary decision, but I guess it makes sense as well. And the way you described it.
Yeah.
Like, just can't imagine it.
It was based on like how loud your voice was as well while you did those.
Really?
So what, you had to like shout it?
Yeah, because you know, in Japanese, hasse,
Yeah.
like how you know how you
Right.
say things. It's really important, I guess, especially in the voice acting industry.
Yeah.
So hasse and your tongue twister and those things were like just the basic things that you had to be perfect at.
I feel like it's the opposite problem when I was doing voice acting. People were too loud. So they would get too into it.
Yeah.
Stop. Less is more.
Yeah, true.
What do you mean?
People sometimes they emote too much on lines, right? They get too loud. It's a shouting line, but you're not trying to blow the mic out. You're trying to shout, not be like. There's a difference between shouting and just having a lot of volume.
Yeah.
And those two things are very different. It's like the way I'd like to describe it is like, you know, sometimes your dad would shout at you, but he wasn't loud at you, but you knew you were in shit.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, right? It's like he was shouting and
Depends on the dad, right?
Well, the intensity.
In my dad's case,
got
the
across.
quieter he was, the more shit I was in.
Exactly.
Conveying intensity without relying on volume.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
kind of a concept that you have to.
I think
sort of
as
work
well,
on.
there's like an interesting, I guess, like cultural difference with like Japanese acting versus English acting. Whereas like, you know, a lot of like, say like Hollywood movies, you know, there's a lot of like scenes where it's very quiet and very like, you know, expressive, but in a very like subtle way.
Yeah.
You know, like to the point where like you'd watch like a Matthew McConaughey movie and you'd be like, I actually can't make out what the fuck he's saying because he's so quiet and so mumbly. Whereas with a lot of like Japanese stuff, like not just anime, but like even live action stuff, it's all about like projecting and like it's more like a stage play than like how you would do in a movie, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's just like what you described is basically just a lot of like anime voice acting, which is, I guess, more over the top and emotive than you would say get in a Hollywood film because it's so weird seeing live action Japanese actors, you know, in like a live action TV drama. Because sometimes I see the way they act and I'm like, they are not acting like people. They're acting like anime characters.
Yeah. Totally.
Well, I think that's why one of the most critically acclaimed films that came out of Japan, most recent memory was God, was that one with where they were driving around a lot and the husband died or something? It was, I forgot what it's called. it was the one
literally every J drama.
But I guess because it was way more of a subtle and way more a lot more toned down and more realistic. I forgot what it's called. I think it was nominated for an Oscar. I think I can't remember.
Yeah. Well, I guess that like, you know, this is going completely off topic now, but on the topic of this, that's why I really enjoyed the voice acting of Beastars.
Yes.
Because it felt way more natural and way more, it was almost like live action, you know. They weren't speaking over the top, even if there were some really intense scenes there. It felt way more like a Western Hollywood film in terms of like its approach to acting and its approach to like.
And then I feel especially with Beastars, like when that got translated to the English dub as well, I feel like the dub voice actors just sounded so much more natural than a lot of other like dubs that I've heard, because it's like the nature of the show already with like, you know, the fact that the whole thing was mocapped and the actors were actually mocapped while doing the lines and everything. So it's like, it just felt more like, oh, I'm actually like listening to people talk rather than like anime characters in a weird way. I don't know.
Yeah. Like, out of curiosity, when you were doing the voice acting school and the voice acting training, was there any kind of like lessons or training in terms of like actually getting into a character as opposed to just kind of like emoting and saying lines?
There was actually no acting at all for the first couple of months. Well, I mean,
Well then,
I actually have a question. Did you have much of an acting background in the States before?
never.
Okay.
I took acting as an elective in middle school for one trimester.
Okay, so like
and,
nothing.
Yeah, and I didn't get a single line.
I was just there.
Yeah. I was the bunny C.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Damn.
So yeah, I had
You can't
no
act in
act.
America, go to Japan? Is that
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah, there was like absolutely no way for me to practice acting before I came here, so I would have to like make up my own ways of practicing.
Acting is very cliquey in the West, at least when I was growing up. I wanted to try. I remember I wanted to try and do it, and it was already the theater kids were already well established who the theater kids were.
Yeah.
And it was like, you cannot become a theater kid.
Don't pretend you're one of us.
You are an in-betweener kid. You belong in the middle. You're not associated with a group. Stay where you are.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Don't
yeah.
come in our group.
Yeah.
I think that happens a lot, but at least you were able to make it work here.
Somehow, luckily.
So, like, you know, you joined the idol group. Were you, like, I guess, ever interested or had an interest in, like, the idol culture of Japan before you decided to join? Or?
I always loved watching idols, you know, like Bono, Berries Kobo, and like just the Hello Project groups and stuff. I loved them, but it was like really never a career option. I didn't even think I could be one, you know. So like I didn't think I could be one, so it was never a career option. So yeah.
What do you think the appeal of being an idol is?
Appeal of being an idol? It's
Because I'm just trying to imagine, because obviously to our audience is very Western, and I think that a lot of people struggle to really understand the appeal of idols in like kind of a Western like perspective. And, like we don't really get it, even though they very much have their own version of it. In terms of the way that they do it in Japan, I think a lot of people, they don't really get it.
Yeah, I think when most people in the West hear the word idol, they think of like Japan or Korea.
Yeah.
You know, or like some kind of Asian country. Whereas, like, you know, not to say that, like, you know, we had fucking Backstreet Boys back in the day, but
like, we definitely have it. It's just, it's like a different.
it's a different, it's a different beast entirely. I
even
feel.
like K-pop and J-pop, that like I feel like it's so different.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like I feel like
the
K-pop
fandoms are very, very different.
Yeah, and K-pop is more like when you debut, like you need to be perfect. But in J-pop, it's more like they
Growing
want
with the-
people.
Yeah,
They want people
yeah.
that's not well established, and like they want.
They want to see the glow up.
Yeah, they want to see the
They
glow
want to see
up.
the progression.
Yeah, the more you look like a
character arc.
potato. Yeah, so that's why like a lot of people say when you go into auditions, you should never dye your hair because like it should, you know,
Be
like,
natural.
as natural
Yeah,
as
right.
possible.
Why?
Because they just like want to see you go from like a normal girl to like.
They want to see you
Are
in
they-
the
are they-
purest form, right?
They're like done with you after you've crushed it. They're like, I'm done. I'm out. I'm gonna find someone else who's.
I hope not. But yeah, that's
Okay.
Like I'm curious because, you know, especially in like idol culture, I guess marketability comes into a lot of plays, especially with the Japanese idol culture. Were you ever like, not like, were you ever kind of like, not pressured, but were you ever like kind of like given a kind of like a niche or a character to fulfill as your like public stage?
Well, I mean, they didn't really tell me to be like, you know, act really cute and stuff. Like, but I mean, they would tell me to not cuss, of course.
Obviously.
You know, they were like, you know, watch your language and those kind of things. But I feel like our group isn't really as strict as, you know, it's not like act like this certain way.
I mean, that's very like, that's what you, in a lot of like Western media, we get told a lot of time from like journalism, whatever. It's so tough, it's so strict. You know, you have to do this, you have to do X. It always seems like that. But I mean, that's great to hear.
Yeah, I feel like, especially groups with Akimoto Yase-san, like rather than him producing you, it's more because there's so many girls. It's like how you can produce yourself, you know.
Yeah, that makes sense.
He's like, I'm not taking care of all you
Yeah,
motherfuckers.
like we gave you
you do you.
It's literally like we gave you the chance, you know, like
Figure it
we
out.
gave you the stage. Yeah, so whoever
Right,
can
right.
like blossom on their own, like.
I mean, that makes way more sense than being like, you should be this character because we think it'll work.
Yeah.
So that was actually one of the reasons why I started Twitter as well.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
our group, we weren't gonna have any social media at first, but I was like,
Don't you mean X? Actually, come on now.
God, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So yeah, because like I was doing a little bit of research on you, and I saw that like, you know, now you have quite actually, you know, not only a large fan base in Japan, but also in a lot of English-speaking countries as well, obviously, because now everyone knows you can speak English. And I heard that one of the big reasons why you got a big English fan base is because you were memeing a little bit on Twitter.
Yeah.
You're a little meme star on Twitter.
So I really respected Sugita Tomokazu-san.
Yeah.
And Gintama.
You literally looked up to the biggest meme star in the voice acting community. Like,
So, you know, I just wanted people, I didn't want to use like social media as like advertisement. I wanted it to be something that would brighten somebody's day, you know?
Sure.
Like I wanted it to, so.
if only everyone
which
thought
turned
that way.
out to be an amazing decision.
Thank you.
Because I think I discovered you through either your Twitter or your YouTube. Because there weren't like, you know, back when you first became an idol, there weren't a lot of, I don't know if there are like any other idols that spoke English in a Japanese idol group. So kind of like I think for you just bridge the gap, especially for Western audience, to like kind of like make it more approachable.
Not to mention you had that like almost personality gap as well of like, you know, in Nanabun no Nijuni, you had, you know, you were the idol girl, right? You know, playing the role in the group, and then meanwhile over on Twitter, you're like memes, you know, and I think just like that almost like disparity between the two personalities was just like, oh, that's actually kind of dope. That's like she can be an idol girl but also be a memester.
Thank you so much. Yeah,
I feel that's how it worked out. But like, how did you like? I guess you know when you decided to start the Twitter, like. And you started to like, you know, post memes and, you know, just be you. Like, how did that reception, I guess, like come about?
Well, like I said, you know, a lot of idol groups from Akimoto-san, it's how you produce yourself. And when the first single came out, I was in the very third lane of the new single. And it was pretty obvious I was not the favorite, like group's favorite.
Right.
And so But
There's politics on the song.
Yeah. I mean, like it would have been fine if it was just me, you know,
Right.
because it's like, you know, like more people not seeing me, the better. But it was my character too. Like,
Right.
if I was in the third line, that means my character was also in the very back, and I didn't want that. Like, I wanted her to shine. So I took dancing lessons, and so, you know, to get better at dancing, and then go to the front line, and then also. I was like, how should I get more fans? And I knew I couldn't really make a lot of friends in person, but I had a lot of friends online back in America. So I was like, you know what? I'm probably better on the internet. So, you know, so I was like, I don't think I can get a lot of fans during the live. So can I just like have my own like internet section?
Just get a lot of followers.
Yeah.
You know.
So that was one of the reasons why I started. I was like, you know, I can't really show my personality in person because I get so nervous. But online, it's like a total different me.
Yeah.
It's like it's easier to talk and everything. So,
Right. You said that you like kind of mentioned, you know, don't cast or anything like that.
Yeah.
How much freedom do you get with like the online stuff and the online content that you do?
For Twitter, it's literally you can post anything you want. I mean, unless, you know, it's like really political and stuff. But for my YouTube videos,
the first idol politics.
but for my YouTube videos, I have to show my like staff members first.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was one of the reasons why my YouTube video right now, my subtitles have nothing to do with what I'm saying.
What do you mean?
Like for instance, if I'm saying konnichiwa minasan and like, you know, like hi everyone, my subtitles would be like today's the worst day of my life.
Wait.
What? You got to
On purpose?
On purpose.
Wait, do you put the subtitles on?
I put the subtitles.
Oh my God.
Wait, why do you do that?
You're such a villain. I love it.
I just really like dark humor, you know, and it's just like self-deprecating jokes is how I cope with my life.
That's very American of you.
But when I do it in Japanese, like my manager stops me, like my whole entire management team stops me, being like, stop.
That's so giga brain that you can keep the Western audience like amused with what they love.
Yeah.
Keep the Japanese
So the
side
only
happy.
way I can like go past them is if I write it in English.
Right.
Because like, how are they going to check?
What are you going to do? Read English?
How are you going to know what I'm saying?
You are like absolutely like limit testing like the idol like industry.
This is like 5-head right now.
That's so gigabrain. I love that.
Everything you've done sounds like subversion of every expectation.
I want to start doing that, but with Japanese subtitles. Just being like, hey guys, we're here right now doing this video, and in Japanese just like koroshite kure. That's such a good idea.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
You do these for your tweets as well.
Yeah, for my tweets as well.
Oh wait, so you tweet out both in Japanese and English?
Yeah, so for the Japanese part, be like, ohayou gozaimasu, like, kyou mo yoroshiku onegaishimasu, with like a heart emoji. And the English part would be like, why did I wake up today? Like the nightmare starts after I wake up.
Do they not see the translation? Are they not?
It's like, you know,
There's a translate tweet button. It's right there.
Don't tell them that.
Oh, shit, sorry.
They
it's
do.
like Google Translation,
They
so
do- yeah,
it's a mistranslation, you know.
They do, but then when they're like, why are you tweeting this? I'm like, that's a mistranslation. You know, like why are you believing the
It's
AI?
like a pun. No, that was hard in English.
Yeah.
People don't want to know
Yeah,
about
I'm like,
Gamer's
the
kid.
joke's really hard to say in Japanese. Like, don't believe that.
Holy fuck, you're like the Kira of the idol industry, dude. Like, you're just like subverting everyone's expectations. That's crazy.
What the heck?
That's so funny. Okay, now that I'm hearing that, I can totally see why, you know, all the English speakers are like, this chick's hilarious.
If Oshinoko had this story, I'd be way more interested. I'm just saying, okay? I'm just saying. This is so interesting. This is so fascinating. I mean,
That's so cool.
every single like chance you've had to be able to like push it or nudge it, you're like, I'll try it.
Yeah.
Why not?
Great.
Fuck
I
it.
mean, that's good.
Have you seen Oshinoko?
Oh, Oshinoko. Yeah. I thought you said ocean something. I'm
Oh, shit, sorry.
like, what is
British,
what is
innit?
that?
Sorry, fuck.
Oshinoko. Yeah.
Do you feel like it's
How accurate?
I mean, the part where, like, the very first episode, you know, where the producer's like, oh, because they're a big, like, you know, from this
Yeah.
group. Like, I don't even know who they are. I kind of relate to that.
Yeah.
You know, I
Right.
feel like a lot of people are like, oh, like, welcome, because of, like, the big agency.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, and I kind of feel that as well. So I relate to
Yeah.
it, and I get scared.
Do you-
I get scared.
I didn't see the second half of the first episode.
This episode of Trash Taste is sponsored by ShipStation. It's the calm before the holiday storm, but you can prepare your e-commerce business for the holiday rush now just by using ShipStation. Whether you're shipping from your house or a warehouse, ShipStation can help increase your profitability. Save time automating your shipping and returns in the ShipStation dashboard, and keep costs down with industry-leading career discounts while your holiday orders just keep rolling in. With ShipStation, you get a free trial if you've been on the fence. And with ShipStation, you get some of the best shipping rates you can find on the internet.
For a bunch of my dumb streams of to ship stuff, and using ShipStation just makes it way easier. And the shipping rates are probably better than what you're used to. You can also quickly save and easily update critical order information and reduce errors. You can effortlessly integrate everywhere you sell online, including Amazon, Etsy, eBay, Shopify, and more. And not just that, because you can also manage orders, print labels, compare rates, optimize every shipment, and auto delivery notifications.
You can get discounts up to 84% off USPS and UPS rates. Plus, over 130,000 companies have grown their e-commerce businesses with ShipStation. Set up your business for the holiday season success with ShipStation. Go to shipstation.com and use code TRASH for a free 60-day trial. That is shipstation.com, code TRASH. Back to the episode.
Well, like, do you feel like, okay, this is going on Oshinoko, and you can like stop me if I'm getting in too intrusive, but like, do you feel like you have like a public and stage persona versus like your personal life, and how do you balance that?
Definitely, but that also I feel like that goes for anybody who's not even like in the entertainment industry. You know, you have a face when you're with your boss. Like you're not gonna be like, hey, what's up? You know.
Yeah.
So I feel like also I'm a people pleaser. You know, I've been a people pleaser all my life.
That.
Yeah. So I
Do be like that.
So I feel like, you know, on stage, like I have to act a certain way that like people want me to, you know, like I can't be like, I can't act sad just because I'm actually sad that day, you know.
Right.
You have to be like, you know, I'm gonna be everybody's ray of sunshine and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
So I definitely think that there is a gap between, you know, my personal life and how I am on camera, and usually that gap also kind of is the reason I sometimes get sad and just kind of have a mental breakdown, because people expect you to be this like
Be positive all the time.
Be positive and also be like super crazy because of like the way I tweet, and like my Japanese fans think I'm a big delinquent because I'm going against the management so much. But like reality is like, if like behind closed doors, I'm not like, you know, telling my managers what to do, and like, you know, I'm more like, hi.
I'm just existing, shit posting on Twitter. You know, just, you know how it is. Yeah.
Like to shit post on Twitter, you need a lot of trust from your management. You know? Yeah. Like in order to be like, you know, super crazy.
Yeah.
Like you need, like people need to trust you. Be like, it's okay. Like, you know, like she's a decent human being in front of us.
Did you ever get in any trouble for maybe pushing it a little too far?
No, never actually. Well,
So I'm still
gonna change that.
so I'm still trying to find the limit.
yeah, not that I remember. Yeah, not that I remember.
That's good,
Maybe,
that's good.
maybe.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you said there's a disparity, and you know you get a lot of stress from how you feel pressured to act? Do you feel like the pressure to be a certain character, or be like, I guess like a sort of like perfect person when you're like on stage and you know you're presenting and everything? Do you feel that pressure, or are you just kind of like more chill with it?
I used to feel a lot of pressure, but then again, I don't know. What was the question again? Wait, do I feel pressure with trying to be
you know,
I'm sorry.
At least with my experience with like idols from like an outside perspective, there's a lot of like the image of an idol being like perfect, I guess, like the perfect person. Do you feel like you have to act like that as well?
Oh, for me, I feel like a lot of people actually expect me to not be perfect.
Okay,
you know,
okay, that's good.
with like the way I act. But the problem with me is sometimes people would think that I'm super outgoing, you know, based on my YouTube channel and everything. So whenever they meet me and they give me like a script for a variety show, they're like, "Can you do this crazy thing?" And I'm like, not really.
How much are you paying?
Yeah. So the thing is, you know, uchiage in, how do you say uchiage in
Like
English?
it's like an after party kind
Yeah,
of.
it's like-
Yeah.
Okay.
I actually never go to those because I don't want like people
You don't want to socialize.
I don't want to socialize, but two, I don't want people realizing that I'm not as funny as I am when the cameras are like, you know, like I'm a lot funnier when the cameras are rolling and like when I'm online.
Right,
Like,
right.
but if it's just like, you know, in the private you know, area and I have to talk to them as a normal human being, like my normal self is going to come out.
That's so funny because I feel like at least in like the more Western side, that's what people actually like. They like it when they get to meet the other creators or celebrities or whatever who are like, oh, it's cool, nice to talk to you, and you're the guy.
Yeah, like it feels like I'm actually meeting
a lot
the
of people
person.
really like that.
Yeah, rather than
Like,
the
it's-
personality.
It kind of like humanizes that person to a point where they're not on like a pedestal anymore, and they, you know, they see them as like more like vulnerable, I guess.
It's like, oh, they're just like another human being like me, you know, with faults and, you know, good things.
She just like me for real.
Yeah, she's just
And
like
then-
me for real. Yeah.
And then that's like a much bigger appeal as opposed to you know, being this perfect idol that has no flaws. And I think that's I think that's an interesting difference, at least from what I've seen from like a Western audience and a Japanese audience. I'm not sure if like the Korean audience is different at all. I would assume it is because every K-pop idol group I've seen are fucking perfect in every way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
So beautiful.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
No flaws.
Yeah.
I forgot what we were talking about. So, yeah, going back to idols. So what is like the normal schedule for like the idol side of things as opposed to like the voice acting side
What's
of things?
your week looking like?
Yeah.
What's a normal week for you?
It's honestly different every week. And
That's good.
my schedule is also very different from my members because I'm one of the few members that is like actually pursuing a career in voice acting right now.
Right.
So it would be like in the morning, I would go to like the anime, like the studio and do some voice acting. And then in the afternoon, I would do rehearsals with my group and just like that every day. And then I'd have like radios. I have like 2 radios and 1 Nikonama. Yeah, a
Nico
program in
live stream,
Nico.
yeah.
Yeah, so I would film those and yeah, it's basically,
Damn, you're doing everything.
yeah.
Jeez.
grinding it out.
Yeah, the grind is real, bro. God damn.
Do you get much of a say in what kind of projects you take on? Or is it kind of like, hey, this week you're doing this, see you there?
As long as it's not really out of my comfort zone, you know, I'm like, I will do anything, especially if it's like voice acting things because, you know, that's what I want to do. And
Yeah, build up the experience,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
for
and
sure.
you know, as a person that's just like starting out, you know,
You're like yes to everything.
Yeah, I don't really want to like choose. And I also want to be like the type of person that is able to, you know, act as anything, you know.
True,
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
flexible, right? It's
Yeah.
always better
Yeah.
to be that
You can
person.
give me a box and I will be that box.
Have you ever done any, you know, you've done voice acting. Have you ever done any live action like TV acting?
Never TV acting. Like I did one musical. Yeah.
You did a musical?
For Aku no Musume, the Vocaloid song, Aku no Musume.
Oh, shit. Yeah, okay.
I played Mikaeda, which is like Hatsune Miku.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
Right.
It was the most nerve-wracking. Yeah, there's so like real people right in front of me while I was acting. I'm like, and also I feel like the stage play, like the actors, like the community over there is also very different from the voice acting and the idol industry. It's like you got to get to know each other so we can create something amazing, you know?
Yeah, it's all communication based,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Like my communication skills is like terrible. Terrible.
It's like I don't have a script. Oh,
Yeah, it is
how do I
terrible.
communicate?
So every single time during rehearsals, I already had the script in my head, but I would pretend that I was like looking at my script So like, you know,
Right.
to make sure, you know, be like, sorry, I'm not talking to you, not because I'm shy, but because I'm focusing on my script. I'm so sorry. Like I have to act all the time so that people won't feel uncomfortable around me. I'm so sorry. The script is so important. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm busy.
Yeah,
You know, this.
I'm very professional. I'm sorry.
It's very awesome that you sound like there's a lot of social anxiety there.
Yeah.
You still haven't let it stop you at any point. You're like, I'm going to do it, but I'm just going to work around everything. I'm
Yeah.
going to find a way to make everything work.
Yeah, has there been, I guess, ever a point where like I guess your social anxiety kind of got like the best of you in like your position?
Yes, during the, you know, idols have handshake events.
Oh my God.
Oh
that seems like a nightmare difficulty level
Yeah.
of social interaction.
Yeah.
Do you want to explain handshaking events for people that don't know?
Yeah, so handshaking events is like basically something that comes with a CD. So you buy a CD and you get like 10 seconds with your favorite idol, you know?
Right.
Which is like
Okay.
10
a
seconds.
crazy trade.
You say 10 seconds. How strict is the timing? Is it just like one handshake?
Well, aren't there
or-
people with like stopwatches?
Yeah, there are stopwatches and there are people that are like, okay, your time is up.
Have you
serious?
seen videos of
Yeah.
like dudes like not letting go and then like 5 guys dragging them?
I've seen that, but
Yeah, there's literally a dude at the back like with a stopwatch being like, all right, your time starts now.
Okay, well, tell the story. I'm sorry.
So my social anxiety started way before I became an idol. You know, as I said, the reason why I quit figure skating, competitive figure skating, was from my social anxiety. So like, but I hid it from my management team, like during the audition too.
Of course.
I never,
yeah.
I never told them. So during the handshake events, I was really thankful for people coming, you know, and I loved them, but my brain and my heart was just like telling me different things. Like I would get rashes on my body and like I couldn't like breathe. Yeah, it was like, you know, a lot of things were happening to me. So then I had to stop. And but my management team was like really, really nice about it. You know, we decided whether we should inform the public that I wasn't going to do any more handshake events because of my social anxiety, or should we just say she's just not going to do it for personal reasons. And at first my manager was like, I think we should hide it because, you know, just these things, and especially in Japan, it's not, you know, really a good thing to say publicly, you know, like you might not get many like job opportunities. So she was really worried for me. She was concerned for me. But the reason why I decided to say that I had social anxiety, and that was the reason I stopped the handshake event, was to let people know that, you know, people with social anxiety can still work, you know. Like I feel like a lot of people hide it, and that just makes it a lot harder. You know, once you just come out with it, it's a lot easier to have people help you. You know, like when you're about to have an anxiety attack, if you're hiding it, you're gonna be like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, like I can't let it show. But
and they won't be able to help you out with that, right? Because they don't know what's happening.
Like already tell people, you can be like, today's not the day. Like I'm
Right.
Yeah, so now's not the time. And like I feel like by me saying it and, you know, proving to people that I can still work in the entertainment industry while still having social anxiety, I feel like I can be, you know.
You're just breaking every stereotype an idol has. You're just like, hey, I'm too anxious to do handshaking events. Okay, that's you can still make it work.
Yeah, honestly.
Was there anything that happened during any of these events that gave you particular anxiety towards them, or was it just the idea of it?
It was just the idea of it. And I don't know, it was just so many different people coming
It's a lot.
in.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, so it's not like there was like somebody that did anything to me. Like I really, as a person, like every single one of them, I loved all of them, but it was just like a thing as a whole, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I get it. There's a lot of people and there's a lot of interaction in the short amount of time.
Yeah.
There's a common conception in Japan that I guess mental health stuff isn't really taken as seriously as it should.
Yeah.
I mean, how has your experience been with that here?
Well, once I came out with it, everybody was really supportive of it.
That's good.
And,
That's
good, yeah.
The people around me are like, you know, like I didn't really have an understanding with social anxiety, and I also didn't think like somebody as outgoing as you on camera could have social anxiety. You know, like I didn't think that was a thing. You know, but so I feel like with me saying it, you know, well, 5 people got a better understanding in my perspective.
Well, I mean, it's better than 0, you know?
Yeah, it's better than 0.
And honestly, it's like massive.
You're a good spy.
Yeah. No, honestly, it's like massive props because, you know, as you were saying, like, I feel Japan is still very much behind when it comes to like the awareness of mental health, especially compared to like America, right?
Well, I mean,
you know,
I think there's in a lot of jobs they'll be like, "Oh, you have anxiety? Oh, you no work? You just can't work?"
Yeah, definitely.
And I'm guessing a lot of people in Japan, especially, have social anxiety.
Oh my god, are you kidding me?
Just a guess.
Are you kidding me?
Just a guess.
Bro. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So honestly, like, like I think it was really brave of you to say that publicly because I'm sure, like, you know, you are by far not the only one. It's even, I reckon, like in the idol industry in itself that, you know, suffers from that kind of, you know, anxiety like you do, right? So I think just the fact that you were even being like, you know what, no, like, I'm just not gonna like run around the fact, like, I'm just gonna tell it how it is, and you know, it is what it is, kind of deal, right? So yeah, I think that was really cool of you to do.
How was the response to the announcement, I suppose?
The people that supported me were also really nice, and you know, it just made life so much easier after that.
Yeah, because you stop needing to feel like you had to pretend.
Yeah, definitely.
Just be like, hey, I got this. Please understand if I'm not acting the way that you think I should act, and people move on. Would you say that you like, out of like your fellow members, that you deal with the most social anxiety?
I don't. I feel like everybody experiences things differently, but I feel like not many girls have like panic attacks as much as I do. So I feel like, maybe.
Or they're really good at hiding it.
Yeah, so
everyone is a spy.
Everyone is a spy. Yeah, just liar game of the game. Everyone's just lying to each other.
So I guess going to your voice acting, I saw that you got a role in Toma-chan recently, where I think it might be a first where you voice both the Japanese character and the English dub character as well.
Cool. I didn't know that.
It was like somebody did it beforehand, but it was the first where the English dub and the Japanese version were streamed on the same day.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Usually there's a gap, like several months. You know.
That must have been fun getting to do the line in the other language.
Oh, it was really fun.
I didn't get to do that with when I was on Pop Team, man.
That's because licensing stuff is really complicated.
I'm just like, what the fuck, Funimation? You could have just called me, bro. Like, I would have been down to do it.
I think it actually takes way more work to be able to like hire you to do it again. I think it's like a whole thing.
Yeah. Did you have to audition for both the English dub and the Japanese dub?
Really? They sent me both the scripts. And
oh wow!
But you know how a lot of people don't know that acting in a different language is so different.
Yeah. Oh, it's very,
just because you can act in Japanese doesn't mean you can act in English. You know? So that was my problem. I was like, I've never acted in English before.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, I don't know if I can do it, but I'm gonna send in my audition anyway. See how they like it, and I somehow got the part. So
hell yeah!
Did you want to voice act in English, or was it something that like your agency was just like, hey, you should try dubbing in English as well? That would be an awesome experience.
Well, my agency really didn't say anything. I think just the production team of Tomo-chan is a Girl was like, it would be cool if, you know, Carol, the character that I voiced, was voiced by the same, you know, person.
That is indeed cool.
So,
that is most definitely.
That's a flex, bro.
That
is a flex.
Yeah, it was so fun.
Which one did you record first? Was it the Japanese or the English?
Japanese version?
Oh, okay, okay. So you got like a sense.
You sound to the English session like, I already know. I know.
Guys, I know the character. Ain't my first time.
I don't know if you know, but I voiced this character actually. So
it was actually really easy to do in English. At first, they were like, we need 2 weeks. Like, you need to. We recorded in Texas. They told me I needed to be there for 2 weeks because
you went all the way to Texas for it?
Yeah, at the Crunchyroll. Building, and they were like, this is your first time dubbing in English, so you probably need 2 weeks because you don't, you know the process. But I finished it in less than 4 days.
What a flex.
So you just had like a week off in Texas.
Oh no, so it was just 1 week I was there. Like
right, so you flew back, right?
Was there a reason why they didn't want to do the dub here in Japan remotely?
They said it was because it was my first time and they wanted to like
I see,
really like have me experience the whole thing. Yeah. So
how was the, like, I guess, difference between, like, you know, a Japanese voice acting session versus an English voice acting session?
It was so different. First of all, like the Japanese voice acting studio, you're there with majority of the
Everyone wants-
classmates.
yeah.
And well, once COVID hit, it's more like 3 to 4 people per session.
Yeah.
But still, I was there with the 4 main cast members. So we would just, act it out all together. But in the English dub, it was just me in one studio. It was also really small too.
Right.
Yeah. So, and the lines, you have to say the lines after this like 3 beeping noise.
Yeah,
the beat.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
they've got to like match the lip
That's like,
flaps
that's like
as
a
well.
curse in my nightmare.
So the Japanese version, there's like a 30-minute anime. There's an
Yeah.
A part and a B part. And like one is like 15 minutes. And you would test the A part like without stopping. And then
Right.
you would have like the real thing.
Right,
Yeah.
It's just like 2 takes,
Yeah.
But the English is like
Line by line.
line by line.
Yeah, yeah.
So that was really
Yeah, because
interesting.
with the Japanese, with the Japanese side, did you have to worry about matching the lip flaps, or was it just kind of just say the lines and we'll animate the lip flaps for you?
It was like say the lines, but in this timing.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
They normally don't care about lip flaps as much, Japanese.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've noticed
they normally just
sometimes you
don't.
watch Japanese like anime
It
and
just
now,
doesn't match,
it
yeah.
just doesn't match at all.
Yeah, there's like a half a second extra lip flap after they finish talking, and I'm just like, whoa, what was that?
Yeah, whereas English obviously very, very strict.
yeah,
Yeah,
English is
the
very
English,
strict.
they have to match the syllables
Yeah, yeah,
with the
Yeah.
Japanese
Yeah.
lines.
Close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was interesting.
Very tough because you're like,
Yeah.
this sounds unnatural, and they're like, well, there's no other way to do it.
Yeah.
Welcome to dubbed anime, baby.
Like they decided to use this word in Japanese. It was 15 syllables long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To find a replacement.
Did you get the script beforehand for the English dub as well?
I got it a week before, but
pretty good.
but they
That's
told me
pretty
not
good.
to look at it that much because it's gonna change on the spot.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
does, yeah.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
kind of like flapped through it.
Japan being like, we could never.
Because I had my first like voice acting experience in a anime role as well recently, and I just kind of like turned up on the day. I didn't even know
That's
like-
normal. They normally don't give you the script before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't know this because I turn up on the I turn up on the day ready to like film like a vlog, right? And I'm like, so what are we doing today? Who am I voice acting? Because I thought I was just gonna be like voice acting like background characters
Yeah.
or something like that. So they get me in the booth. They showed me the script, and I'm like. So I'm a named character? What the fuck? I die in this scene?
His name is Giga. Okay.
I got to do some acting, and they're like, yeah, here's the script, here's your lines. I'm like, I did not get any
my
prep
gosh,
for
that's
this
terrifying.
whatsoever.
Were they just like, we've seen Everbridge, we know you can voice that. Come on, don't lie to
They
us.
saw Honkai Star.
Oh, they saw the Honkai Star.
They were
Yeah,
like,
this
this
was
guy
far
can.
Yeah, they were like, this vagrant right here, this is the guy.
We were in a gacha game, and it was we had like very funny lines.
Wow.
And,
Yeah.
and Garnt just sounded exactly like
I
Garnt.
just sounded myself.
And everyone was
Yeah.
like, oh, it's Garnt.
Like immediately recognized his voice. Yeah.
But yeah, it was the first time that I had to like not use my YouTuber voice, and I actually had to like, I guess.
Wait, what kind of voice did you do?
Oh yeah, I'm so interested.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see this vlog.
Yeah, because like every time, like, even like with your older bridge stuff, right?
Yeah.
I know immediately. I'm like, oh, that's gone.
Oh, it's still me, right? It's still definitely me, but it's not like, hey guys, it's Giga, I'm filming a vlog. It's I remember. Okay, so I've seen like the first draft of my vlog, which is not out. By the way, it should be out by the time this episode's out.
Yeah.
So yeah, I voice a character in Mashal.
Oh crap!
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, voice character in Mashal. I get like killed. I'm one of the characters that got killed.
Spoilers.
yeah. And I remember like I'm watching this vlog back, and I do like, okay, so we're gonna try the first take of the line, and I didn't even know that we're just gonna like just jump right into it.
Yeah.
Didn't really find my voice at all, so I just started reading in my usual like you got voice, which looking at the vlog, I'm just like, this sounds so fucking bad. And then they're like, okay, let's take it like 3 octaves lower.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, I've never done a voice like this, or something like that. And somehow I had like excellent like directing, and I somehow like stumbled through it, and I'm pretty proud of it. It doesn't sound like
Hell
anything
yeah,
I've
dude.
done before. So.
Good direction helps a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, good direction does help a lot. So
Yeah, absolutely.
I kind of like realized the power of like good directing.
Did you ever have to, with any of your roles, like maybe be asked to do like a different voice or like a different tone or anything like that?
Yeah, there was a place I went with a really high pitched voice, but they were like, no, we need an adult lady. And I was like, oh no, like I practiced all my lines in this like kitty, like konnichiwa.
Yeah.
Suddenly I had to be like konnichiwa. And I'm like, I didn't practice for that. And yeah, that was a hard day.
Right.
I went home crying.
I feel like you're putting way too much pressure on yourself.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
It's a minor life inconvenience. I will die. I'm literally gonna die.
Guess I'll die. God damn.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So how many other like voice acting roles have you been able to get more now since you've kind of like opened the door?
Yeah, slowly but surely. Right now I'm doing this character called Katorina from World Dice Star. We have a game that's a rhythm game that's already out. We haven't downloaded it yet. But yeah. But a lot of the times the characters I voice are people who speak another language as well. You know, they're like bilingual. And it's really hard because sometimes people would be like, oh, she only got that role because she can speak English, you know?
You mad, bro?
Sometimes I need English. What are you gonna do? We've all seen Croco No Basket when they go to America. It doesn't sound good. It sounds awful. Yeah, they should have got English people. Someone should have got the role because
Sure.
I mean, you know, I think that's just so what? It's like, oh, you were qualified for the job.
It's like, oh wow, like woe is me that you have a skill that I don't have.
Yeah, so
it's like wow, it's crazy.
Like I used to get really down about that, being like I guess you know it's not really my skill, it's just my English. But then
no, it is a skill.
Yeah, but my best friend was like, well, you see that girl, like she got in because of her singing. That girl got in because of her appearance, like, and you got in because of your English. Like, what's the difference?
Yeah, no, take it with stride.
Yeah,
you know?
wow.
You're
right.
It's not your fault that you're qualified. Like
you should be prideful of that.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, you have a skill set that not a lot of people have, especially in Japan, and also you can act on top of that as well.
If anything, you have a skill that I think a very large proportion of Japanese people wish they had.
Yeah.
You know, which is the just being fluent in English. So it's like, you know, I mean, I certainly take that with stride whenever I'm here, you know, just being like, oh, wow, you can speak Japanese and English? That's insane. And I'm like, and in my head, I'm like, yeah, I mean, it's not, I'm not the only one who has that skill. But then when you think about it, it's like, no, that is a skill that not everybody can achieve to, you know, the certain level. So like, yeah, I think you should be very proud of the fact that you can speak both languages. You know?
Yeah, we have generally no skills, so we're happy to take like anything.
Yeah, I'm taking anything.
Yeah, all the time I'm like, hey, so what? That's the game.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get paid.
I know how to edit a video and speak English. That's my two skill sets, man.
Yeah, I don't know. You kind of just have to. I mean, I think a lot of entertainment, personally, I find is you'll never have the perfect skill set or what you need to always be the best at everything. But it's like, how can I currently take what I have, learn more whilst also applying the current skills that I have into the situation to the most useful they can be.
Yeah.
So it's always just a battle, right, of trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
But you're in a way more intense environment. You just sit here and chat shit on the podcast.
Yeah.
We just look at a camera for 2 hours a day.
Yeah,
No,
compared
but
to
like
what you
that's
do.
so hard though, because I just want to announce right now, I have never held a 2-hour conversation with anybody before.
Wait, like ever?
Wait.
Ever. Like I
Like off camera as well?
off camera as well. Like I've never, like of course, like, you know, I've been in a situation where people are talking for several hours, but I was never part of it, you know, like I was just there.
Your manager's just crying. It's just being like, what about the conversations we've had?
You're the best spy. I cannot tell at all.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was so nervous today because I was like looking at your podcast and it's like, everything's almost 2 hours.
Now I feel even more bad that like, okay, literally today, Sally just like came in and we're like, all right, we're starting, guys. Sit down. Don't even like, we say hi and that's just it. And we're like, all right, starting the podcast.
Yeah, normally we have like a, you know, 30-40 minute like just kind of chat off camera to get to know each other, but we just like sit down right now, we're talking.
Yeah, it's like I'm so used to the Japanese like work environment. I thought I was sitting down to have like rehearsals or something.
Oh no.
Like suddenly
Not at Trash Days, baby.
you were like, hi everybody, and I'm like, oh, hi.
That's why you were laughing.
Yeah, I was like, so we're starting.
Were you laughing or was that just a, oh shit, we
I was like, oh shit, we're starting.
I thought my intro was just really weird. I'm like, I was getting like,
it was weird.
I was getting self-conscious. I'm like,
You're just
weird.
hilarious.
thank you.
I have to go in like 5 minutes as well.
Okay.
You have to?
I called the taxi.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, no worries.
So are you okay staying for a little bit longer?
Of course.
Okay.
I want to be
okay.
part of this show
Are
forever.
you having fun? Okay.
Oh yeah.
So, well, you have
All right,
to go.
Connor, you can fuck off.
you can leave now.
We're replacing Connor with Sally.
Yeah, I want to
after
sit
this.
there because that's my good side, actually.
I gotta leave in 5 minutes. I gotta go to the airport because that's how tight we had to schedule today. We had to make sure it all worked.
Yeah, I don't know if did we say this on camera that we tried to get Sally on 3 times before in the podcast.
It's taken like a year to try and get you.
It's taken over a year, and every time we tried to schedule her on, either her schedule has been mismatched or our schedule has been mismatched. So we booked this day in, and then like literally a week ago, Connor's like, actually, I got a chess tournament that I need to go.
So if I win, I got to go to LA. And I thought we were gonna have to cancel, but I was like, wait, no, hold on. Let me cook. I can make this work. So the moment I land in LA, I gotta do press stuff.
Gotta flee the country.
Yeah, right? I gotta get out.
I'm out of here.
Meanwhile, I was like, Connor's gonna throw. Connor's definitely gonna throw one of these chess games.
I thought I would lose.
And then he just kept playing well. I was like, what the fuck?
First time Connor won, and I was just like, damn it.
I choke a lot when it matters the most. It's my thing.
I feel you.
But I'm super competitive, and I can't like willingly throw something. I just cannot.
I respect that.
Perform. There's something in my brain that won't allow me to not try.
I will not be a failure.
I feel you so hard because, like I said, in the idol group, like I don't mind being in the back, But thinking about the rehearsal time, like where all the members are there for the same time. Like if I'm gonna do it, I'd rather be where, like
of course.
I'll be like, this dancing's dumb, I don't care. And then literally when I get home, I'll be like, all right, I'm gonna try my fucking best.
Me too.
No more playing games.
I will not like an idiot. So that's what I'm doing. That's my day. This is in a whirlwind of a day. But anyway, it's not about me. It's about you.
What were we talking about before? I completely forgot.
My taxi is 4 minutes away, so I'll probably just say my goodbyes now.
All right,
so I'll let you continue. You can have the good chat.
All right. Do you want to come here?
Oh, well, I can
take this
All right, let's do it.
I mean, it's fine. Yeah, I'll go back in the normal position.
We're upgrading Sally from guest to now host. All right.
This is a real trash taste first right here. I don't think we've ever switched seats mid episode.
Since Sally is giving us just
good
her
side
first
There
2-hour conversation, we must do a first on trash taste as well.
You can take my cut of this episode.
Thank you.
It's all right. I have the spirit of Sugita Tomokazu right with me.
So now that you have Connor seats, I got to ask, what's your hottest food take? So we're known on Trash Taste for... shut up, Connor, shut up.
Oh my God.
So we're known on Trash Taste for having some controversial food takes. Do you have any like food takes that you think are like a little bit weird or...
A little weird.
So why don't we give some examples from the past?
Okay.
All right? So Connor, for example, hates oranges. Oh. Like with a passion.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't just dislike oranges, he despises oranges.
Yeah.
You leave.
Yeah. I famously said on the podcast once that all bread tastes the same.
They do though.
Oh my
God! Yes! Oh my God! This is amazing! Oh my God! Believe
You
this.
really are just a female Connor. Like that's.
Do they not?
Okay, thank you. I've been
Okay, Sally, you cannot tell me. You cannot like legitimately tell me.
You came to the right side, Sally.
That
You came to the
Wonder
right
Bread
side.
and pretzels taste the same.
It's just different seasoning. Like it's cheese or not cheese.
I've never been more happy in my life. Oh my God,
I'm
this
sorry.
is amazing.
Am I gonna get canceled for this?
Your idol career is over now.
Yeah.
You think no? But
No more bread commercials for me.
All right. I gotta ask. Do you eat the pizza crust?
I don't.
Yes. Oh my God. This is one of my favorite moments on Trash Taste.
You know what? I'm glad you're not saying this to me now because
that's where you hold it. It's a handle.
Okay, but Americans figured out that we can add dipping sauce like ranch or something, so that if you have just the crust left, then you can just dip it in some ranch and you can eat it deliciously, right?
It's just bread in it.
Yeah.
Like, pizza's better.
Bread with different seasoning.
Why are you so obsessed with seasoning?
Wait, she's onto something.
No, she's not.
Hold up,
She's not onto something. God damn, bro.
What is your least favorite American food?
Least favorite? I don't really have like a least favorite. My just like no to food. Like no food is egg whites, uncooked egg whites.
Uncooked egg whites.
Yeah.
Oh damn.
The texture is really weird.
Yeah, it is a little plasticky, isn't it?
Yeah, like and
it's like styrofoam.
And it's like when I was really little, I thought it looked like a snail, and ever since then I just couldn't eat it. I was like, that kind of looks like a snail, and then suddenly, you know.
Yeah, because it's like very slimy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you eat natto then?
I love natto.
Let's
Yeah.
Okay.
Finally a good food take. Let's go. Thank God. I was about to revoke your citizenship if you had
I
said
love
no.
natto, but
That was a test and you passed.
Yeah, you passed.
No one in
Thank
Japan
you.
cares about bread. No. We've seen you guys as sandwiches. No one here cares about the bread.
True.
But the natto, okay.
The natto, you don't fuck with the natto. That's facts.
How often do you get to go back to America?
I haven't gone back for 4 years.
4 years.
2019 was the last year.
Well, what was it like, I guess, like once the first time you went back to LA after being here for however many years you did?
I forgot like how friendly and unfriendly people in customer service can be. Like, you know, like it's both a good and bad thing.
That
'Cause
is-
in
that is
Japan,
most-
everybody's
yeah.
like, "Irashaimase, kochira,"
Yeah.
and like they're so polite.
Yeah.
In America, it's more like,
What do you want?
take it.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like I've like noticed it's you know, I know why this is, but it's like, does this customer service position have a chance to tip? If the answer is yes, you'll probably have good customer service. If the answer is no, you will have the most dog shit customer service of all time.
Yeah, but like what frustrates me more is like, you know, the few who are like, oh yeah, you know, I really want the tip, so I'm gonna try and be like a nice, you know, waiter or waitress, right?
Yeah.
But then, you know, when you give them like a lower tip than they expect, they turn around being like, what do you mean you didn't give me 18%? I filled up your water 3 times. That's great service. And I'm like, well, you know, it is how it is.
Yeah, I just want to say this isn't like a dig at people who work customer service.
Oh, no,
'cause
no,
they don't get paid
No,
enough.
no, you
know.
guys are getting fucked over by the system, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah, it's
totally
the system.
fine. Yeah.
Because I've noticed that, you know, when there's not a chance to tip, people don't care about the customer service job because why would they?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, going back to America this time because I just came back from America. The tipping culture has gotten like even more insane. So
Really?
I'm all for tips, right? But you go to like a coffee shop or a Starbucks and you order a coffee and the only interaction you get is, hey, can I have like a latte please? Venti or fucking, no, it's not venti. It's medium size.
Yeah.
And they like turn around the tablet and the 20% tip is like there by default.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
It's usually like a choice, right? It's like 20, 10,
Yeah.
5, or no tip.
yeah. And it's just like, I don't want to be an asshole and say no tip. But also I kind of feel like it's kind of like a dick move to have it just like default on like 20%.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. That is true. That
So
is true.
did you find any experiences when you last went to America that had like changed when you had grown up there?
So when I was there, I would only go out with my parents as a teenager, so I never had to pay for anything. So I actually didn't really know the tip system.
That's that privilege. That's that parent card.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. I almost never really went out, so
Okay.
I can't really speak for like
what's
the cultural
something
difference.
what's something you wish that Japan had that LA has?
Japan has that LA has.
Yeah.
Oh
That Japan should maybe implement, perhaps.
gosh, I feel like there are many things, but it's like my head.
It's
is
okay
going
to say
so blank.
nothing.
Yeah. You can say nothing. You can't think of anything. It's
Well, I
fine.
mean, the no honorifics part, the no keigo, everything's like so.
like everything's casual.
Yeah. I'm
that is
so
true.
bad at memorizing names, you know. So, but in Japan, you can't be like anata to some like a boss. You know,
yeah.
in English, it could be like you, even if you don't know their name. You could be like, "Hey, how are you doing?"
God, I never thought about that
Yeah.
because it's the same way in like when I'm in Thailand and I'm that motherfucker who someone introduces themselves and I make a mental note to like not forget their name. In 3 sentences, I've forgotten it.
Yeah, me too.
And
I actually do this thing where every time I meet someone or I meet like a large group of people, I'm like, I always have my phone in my hand or in my pocket. And what I do is like I sneakily write the name down, like a general description of where I met them and a general description of what they do.
Right.
And so when I get their phone number, I kind of write it down as like, it's like Jacob, and then in brackets it's like the guy I met at this place. And so every time, like, you know, I'm messaging, because, like, you know, after you meet so many people, you know, doing what we do, right?
Yeah.
There's only so many Sato-san that you can meet where until you're like, wait, which Sato-san was it? Or like, is it a Kato-san? Is it a Suzuki-san? Like, I don't know, like, because, you know, you learn not on a first name basis in a lot of ways in Japan, but on a surname basis, right?
Yeah.
So it just gets even more confusing when you're like, wait, so you talked about, you know, me meeting a Sato-san the other day. I'm pretty sure I met like 4 of them last week, and I don't remember which one was which, you know?
God, I had a moment from my nightmares in the recent trip I had, which is related to this.
Yeah.
So the reason I flew back to America was to go to my wife's family reunion. So I've met her family a bunch of times, but also she has a massive family. Like it's a big Midwestern family, so many cousins, so many uncles. And I remember like meeting like one of her cousins, right? And I'll be honest, she has a lot of cousins. I don't remember all of their names. I know like there's like a pool of names. And I know he's like one of those names. You know what I mean? It's either like a Tommy or a Ryan or a Tim or something. It's like in the pool of like names. So I go in, and I've met him like a few times before. I shake his hand and he goes, "Hey Garnt, nice to see you again." I'm like, "Hey man, nice to meet you." Dead ass. He like shakes my hand, looks me in the eye, and he goes, "What's my name?"
Worst nightmare ever.
And I literally just like blue screened.
The audacity.
I like literally, I blue screened as a human. I'm like, and then he's like, "Don't worry, man. Don't worry about it. It's Ryan." And I've realized now why he did that.
What if he was like, "Just kidding, it's Tommy." I told you.
I realized because we had like a party afterwards, and some other like friends came over, and he was there. And when they met Ryan, they're like, "Oh, hey Ryan, I remember it this time. I actually remember it this time." So I think he says that to everyone so nobody forgets his name. And it fucking worked because that like, I think he's instilled PTSD into me. Like, I will never forget his name when I see him.
I mean, it's a bit of a double-edged sword because now everyone who is associated with Ryan knows who Ryan is. But at the same time, I feel a lot of people are going to be like, "What an asshole." I can't believe you just put me on the spot like that. Like,
I mean, yeah. That's like, that's the thing you see in your nightmare. That actually happened. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
But luckily, we got like the good ending.
That's good. That's good.
Just gonna put me through like personal trauma for that.
God damn.
Yeah, my manager calls everybody sensei.
That's smart.
Okay, that's
Even
so
like
smart.
in like an honorful way, and also like a frank way, being like, "Hey boss," or like, "Hey boss," you know. She uses it for everybody. She uses it for me too. I'm like, "You don't know my name?"
Damn, you pulled out. I do the equivalent in English where I just call everyone dude. Like it doesn't matter. Like it doesn't matter. Like how many times I've met you, what gender you are, what age you are. Like I'll call a 90-year-old grandma dude. Like I'm just like, just so I can get out of the situation and be like, "I apologize. I don't remember your name, but I want to be friendly with you." So I'll just throw it. It's the magical word to just be like, "Oh yeah, no, he's cool with me." Does he know my name though? I don't know. Probably not.
Have you ever met someone and you're like, you know, they refer to you as like dude or someone, or you just know that they do not know your name.
Oh
that's
yeah.
all.
Oh definitely.
Yeah, and I don't want to be an asshole about it, but because I've been in that situation so many times. But sometimes there's a look in their eye, you know, where there's like the slight like panic where I'm like, I hope he doesn't ask me.
I'm actually really sympathetic for people who do that because I'm exactly the same, right?
Yeah.
So like, you know, any chance I can get, like I'll maybe like throw in my name or like clues to my name like
Yeah,
in the conversation.
I do that as well.
You know, like sometimes like I'd be telling a story about like, you know, an anecdote about something that happened to me, and then I'll switch to like third person being like, Joey, you fucked up, and then to be like, quickly grab it. I said my name, remember it.
And like you see like the light bulb pops up, right?
And they're like, oh, that's his name.
Oh, that's so smart.
Yeah. So that's like a little thing I like to do because, you know, I get it. I wish people did that more for me.
Oh, I sometimes I do like the alley oop. Where okay, so so there's been times when I know my wife can't remember her name, and I do like the alley oop. I just like call to them or something like that. Or I'm like, yo, Rob, how you doing? And you know, I know Sydney's listening at that point. So, you know, if sometimes people do that to me as well, and it's just like, all right, everyone gets it.
Yeah, but okay, to be fair, you have a very memorable name.
True.
I've met a lot of Sallys in my life. I've met a lot of Joeys in my life. You are the one and only Garnt I have met in my life.
My biggest problem is making sure people actually can pronounce my name. Once they get the pronunciation, then most of the time they remember it.
Yeah, true.
Do you have a technique of like when you're in the industry and you don't know someone's name? Do you use the sensei technique or?
I run past them as fast as I could, as if I'm in a hurry. Like I'm like checking my phone, like, let's get someone nice, because I don't want to be rude. So I usually like pretend I'm only running because I'm late to something. Yeah. I would talk to you if I had the time, but I can't.
Right, Sally, I gotta ask. Kind of personal question, but not really. Social anxiety. Have you ever pretended to be on the phone?
Yes.
Okay, you do that as well.
And also, very life hack. If you're left with somebody that you feel really uncomfortable with, or like you're really nervous, I put my timer for like 2 minutes, and then I like leave it on the table, and then it rings, and I'm like, oh, I got a phone call. I gotta go. I gotta go.
That's so smart. Holy shit. That's so good.
I gotta take this. God, I'm sorry.
I'm stealing that technique, dude. That's so
It works.
good.
It works all the time.
This is just like social anxiety life hacks. Like how would you fake it until you make it?
Dude, like I'm like giving all these like tips and tricks to like get out of the situation. Sally's just like, I'm a fucking dick. Like, I'm just like, I'm not even in this right now. I'm just gonna go. Like, that's so funny.
Yeah,
well, I guess yeah, like, you know, none of them are needing. Like what's your guys' next steps? Like, what do you have going up?
We have a second album coming out in November 22nd.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and we have an online talk event as well. Yeah, so if you guys are interested, please come stop by. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Do you have anything else you? I mean, it seems like you've done so much already. Is there anything else you want to do, or like a role in voice acting, or like a project that you like dream of getting?
Oh, a jump anime.
A jump anime?
Yeah, I love Shonen Jump so much. So hopefully
what
one
if
day.
it was a Shonen Jump anime and you get to voice act with Sugita Tomokazu?
Oh gosh.
Would you just explode at that point?
I mean, there would have to be like an ambulance there every week.
You know what? I feel I would probably be like that too, to be fair. Yeah. So Sally, are there any like future events we can see you at, or your fans can see you at?
I'm actually going to be the MC for AOF 2023.
Another MC role.
Yeah.
Awards wasn't
Public
enough?
speaking. But yeah, Aniplex Online Fest 2023. It's happening on September 9th.
You got it.
September 9th. 9/9. Now I won't ever forget it.
Yeah. 9/9. September the 9th.
Like, oh god, oh my god.
Yeah. From 8 p.m. PDT.
Yes.
PDT.
You look like someone just like is pointing a gun at you off camera. Like, say the line. Say the line.
September 9th. Yes. We're going to be announcing a lot of new Aniplex titles. Yeah, a lot of new information.
Blink twice if you are okay.
Yeah.
Oh, if I'm okay.
Yeah. Okay, actually no. Blink twice. Blink twice if you're not okay.
Hell yeah. And you know, with that event as well, I think there might be even like a little secret like trash taste appearance, maybe. I don't know.
Do you know how long the event's gonna be?
Last year was like 5 hours. This is the 4th time this year. I've been the MC for 4 consecutive years. So
You're gonna be the MC
Is
the whole 5
is that all
hours.
scripted, or do you get to like go off script?
It's like 500 pages.
it's really long. I get to go off script a little bit, but yeah,
Right.
it's
Yeah.
like really on time. And
yeah.
we have a lot of artists coming too.
Awesome.
Yeah. So.
Right on,
Well,
yeah.
I wish
so-
you the best of luck.
Yeah,
for
best
that.
of luck with
I
that.
hope
Thank
your
you.
contact lenses no like more.
I will go
fumbling
in my
around.
glasses, and they're still gonna fall off and crack, knowing me.
But yeah, thank you very much for coming on to the show. We
Yeah.
appreciate
Thank you
you
for having
again.
me.
You're welcome.
Thank you for staying
back
the
anytime.
entire 2 hours and not running off after
Yeah.
an hour. Wouldn't it be funny if she's like, actually, guys, I got a phone call. Sorry.
Oh, that's my alarm. Gotta go.
Oh, shit. Gotta go. Sorry.
Sorry, the girls are calling. I just like it's a family emergency.
Yeah,
Actually,
you know how it is.
Yeah.
But hey, look at all these patrons on screen right now. Do you see all
Yeah.
the patrons flying up on screen, Sally? Point to your favorite patron right now.
Just point to anyone.
Point to.
This one.
Oh, you lucky bastard. If you got
Yes.
pointed to, goddamn. But hey, if you want to support us and like the show enough, then head on over to our Patreon, patreon.com/trashtaste. Also follow us on Twitter, send us some memes on the subreddit, and if you hate our face, listen to us on Spotify.
Yeah, is there any socials you want to shout out?
I
Twitter.
mean, I do Twitter, I do Instagram. TikTok is like. I mean, I'm on it,
Yeah.
but like I just do English daily business
Yes.
English lessons.
If you want to see some premium
Is it actual
shit
like
posting.
daily English lessons?
No,
or
it's
is
more
it,
like it's
or is it
past
like
5.
I
I
would
gotta
like to
go.
kill myself.
I teach
Business
English.
English, yeah.
I teach business English. Like I would like a raise. So you
I would
know,
politely say fuck you to your boss.
but yeah, and I also have a YouTube channel. So
Yeah.
please
Okay.
check me
Links to
out.
that is all down in the description. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode of Trash Taste, and we will see you all next week. Bye.
Bye.